What is up, everybody? Alright, Saber Wars 2, let's go. Let's see if we can get some progress in here. Man, I need to, we've beaten Poseidon, but we didn't, let the app finish. I need to actually do that so we can get Hercules' buff. We're probably gonna want that for, the Liz fight and all that nonsense later. Hey, Maniac, what's up? Alright, what are we at here? So we got some free quests to do. We actually have a lot of free quests to do. Oh, let me fix my volume. Loud! That's better. Alright, so yeah, I know you have to do this free quest 5 times. That's a whole thing. I think you have to do this one 5 times, but I want to say I did that off stream. So we don't have to worry about that. You have to do this one 5 times. I think I've done that. And then surely you're gonna have to do this one 5 times. So we actually only have 10 to do there. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, this account is 100% using command spells on the Shadow Knights of the Round Table. This account is so not prepared for that. Unless Herc just does way better than I'm thinking, but yeah, I don't think we're doing that one legit on this account. We're level 126. What do you want from me? Do I want to do wanted quests, or do we want to get some of these out of the way? Let's do the wanted quests, and then we'll do the main story. All right, where are we on that? So we'll save this one until we got a few more CEs, so we'll just do these. All right, this is one where their class changes, it looks like. Who to use? Oh shit, is your birthday, Maniac? Awesome, dude. Hopefully you get some good grub out of it. It's always a good trade-off, in my opinion. Wow, I never realized that Maniac was the canonical main character of FGO. I just now realized, but I mean, this is proof. He's got a level 100 red hair. I mean, there's literally no disputing this. These are just the facts, man. I really want to know how, when FGO's, Carnival Phantasm comes out, I want to know how many people are gonna grail red hair. I wouldn't skip it, I would just cheese it, right? If you don't want to bother with it, that's fine, but just cheese the hell out of it, because it gives you summon tickets. I think it gives you 5 summon tickets in a lore or something, right? And it's not that hard to cheese, right? Just get a basic setup and then use your 3 command spells to res, right? And hell, even if that fails and you use 1 SQ is worth 5 summon tickets. And you're definitely not going to fail at that point, right? So... Alright, we got Nuke Head here. So if we do her thing, she'll turn into a Lancer, which I don't even care about. So art card. What a great opening hand. I love when you're fighting at class neutral and it's gonna be really rough, and the game's just yeah, no, you don't even get cards. It's great. Who needs NP gain or damage? Who needs any of that stuff? Just get George in here. So are they gonna let people vote on the best bog champ by the end of all this? That'd be kind of nice. I like this one better than the other one. The other one you couldn't really, unless you zoomed in or squinted, you couldn't really actually see the emotion in the emote very well. So there's a hand at least. With this one you can so easily tell what the emote is. Boy, we're in trouble right now, by the way. I grailed him before, it was cool indeed. Although let's be real, red hair's always been cool. This needs that NP upgrade, man. 97%. I mean, at least it's not 98. Oh my god. I guess make stars. We're gonna lose, by the way. This is a bit of a tall order at neutral anyway, and us being AoE and everything, and low stars and so on and so forth. Yay, look at all this overcharge. If I got my NP, I'd be 51% towards my next NP. That's great. Love it. I want to just get far enough to not shame ourselves. The goal here. Yeah, I think the new Pog's pretty good. We'll see what the next one is though. I think they're changing it like every day for a week or something. We can break the health bar. That'll be good, I think. Woo, look at that damage. Damn! Jesus. We're taking some hits there. What was she originally, a Saber? I think the fun way to do this is to use an archer and try to never use an art card. I think that would be a fun way to do it. Bringing a Saber would be too easy, and then you just break it and murder the Lancer. So this way would be more fun, I think. Or we go pure neutral and just bring someone that's got super value. Robin would have no chance. Robin would have no fucking chance. Yeah, Super Orion would have an easy time. He doesn't mind not clicking a blue card if he has to. Well, at least we're gonna break the first health bar. That's something to be, I actually, you know, it's pretty tough when you're a 3-star AoE, neutral, no upgraded NP and all that. It's tough time. Could solo it with Ku and just turn her into a Lancer and then see if he can do it at neutral. I might do that real quick and then do it with someone else. That just sounds kind of fun. I feel like I haven't used Ku in forever. Damn it, 7k off. Excuse me, 6.6k off. I wanted that first break. Could Proto Ku do it? Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll do Ku, then we'll do Proto Ku, and then we'll try it with someone that's an archer that doesn't have to use art cards a lot. That's the plan here. Let me give Ku command codes here though, because I unequipped most of my command codes the other day. Alright, let's see. I don't need to give anything too specialized, kind of just the standard stuff. Ought to get the job done. Who did I equip them to? Who did I use yesterday? I remember it was like utter failure. It's all. I think it was Medusa. Let's see, where is she? There she is, yep. I don't think they're going to have the Male Master in the Carnival of Phantasm because they've used the Male Master in so many other things. I think they kind of feel like they owe it to the other main character. Has anyone else noticed this, right? Where when it comes to Fate, whenever they do one of the IPs that has like a selectable main character, for the most mainstream take on it, they always go with the male MC every time. Like, you know, and like they'll do the female one in the manga or something, right? Like with, you know, the Fate Grand Order, you know, First Order and Babylonia and all that, right? They use the male MC all the time. And then like in Last Encore, male MC, right? But then when they do like the manga or whatever, then they do the female MC to like throw them a bone, right? It's kind of funny. I guess they're trying to get those sales, right? They're trying to get like the self-insert demographic going there. Alright, I have to actually equip the command codes. That's the trick here. Alright, we'll just do like really standard stuff like the Gilgamesh one and all that. I don't need to specialize for this, I don't think. If I go with the crit one, I'm always back and forth if I like a crit up on Ku or not, because he does crit a decent amount, but you know, sometimes you don't, and so sometimes it's better to just have guaranteed value instead. Oh, fuck. Of course, the one command code equipped to somebody is the crit one. Yeah, I'll go with the crit one. I want to see how it does. Yeah, I think Canis would do just fine here, I think. Although I might be pushing it a little bit. We'll see. I don't have much of a barometer of what this stage is like at neutral, so we'll see. Aku's pretty far along though with boosting up his command cards, so it's kind of cool. Trying to think if there's any. I normally use Ku's art card for like a flex card because I find the Merlin command code doesn't really help him much. It normally just results in overcharge or like not quite getting your NP and the next turn going way overboard. Like it can be good. It can be good, but it's not super reliable. So I'm trying to think what would be like the fight specific command code that would make sense here. And then I guess you could get rid of her crit buff and things like that, but that seems kind of unnecessary. There's always art crit up, it's not bad. There's star absorb, so you do get an art crit and get your MP faster that way. Honestly, the art crit one would probably be the way, but I have that equipped with somebody else and I'm just can't be bothered right now. So let's do... Fuck it, I'll just do the Merlin one. I really think though this, more times than not, it does not result in getting your NP any faster for Ku, I've found, but every once in a while. Alright. And then we'll do Proto Ku next. And then just cry, because it probably won't work, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know how hard this is going to be. Wait, Ares here? Oh, she got Sanson. Yep, that's how you find them. Sniped, by the way. Okay, gotta get our art card right away. Otherwise, we're being counterclassed, and that's no good. Boy, yep. I guess we do that. Kind of a shitty turn here. Oh, here, while I'm doing this, I should get my ult account so I'm ready to slot Proto Ku. And then cry at his terrible performance. Why did I kill? What am I doing? Why did I kill Gong first? He doesn't have as much star absorb. That doesn't make any sense. Because, I mean, yeah, I only made 3 stars, but I mean, you never know. You can get a rogue crit. This is what I'm talking about. If I use the Merlin command code now, I'm just going to overcharge more than 10%, so... But who knows, maybe the art card had been the only card I got this hand and it would bail me out, like, it can be okay. There are a lot of units, though, where it allows them to, like, get their NP a turn sooner. There are a lot of units where, like, the math works out that way. Like Cersei. But, I've just found Ku rarely does that work out. So I like his art card for just, like, utility stuff. Like the fight, because you do use his art card a lot anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and guts, get that attack buff. We'll give Proto Ku the same CE and all that. Wow, we are. I tell you, man. Ku's a monster. That's crap. Neutral is like that. Just boom, do that damage. It's ridiculous. Already got that far. So though, she's no slouch either. She crits like a champ here. I want my NP gain, but I do want damage as well. Might do Buster quick, and then rely on her hit count. Her hit count's decent. Okay. Whew. Well, I'm not gonna heal because I want my higher attack buff for my first skill, so I still can't get over the fact that they buffed Ku again, right? I just like, because I've used Ku at level 70 a lot, and I got one at level 80. I got one at 70, 80, and 100, and I use all of them quite a lot, right? And I use all low stars a lot. You know, it's kind of my thing if you hadn't realized. But and it is so noticeable to me That Ku is just so far ahead of like your typical 3-star for a standard class and like in value, right? And you know, someone's got to be the best. That's fine. And like David being really good, that's fine. But it's just weird to me that he was already kind of like that, and they buffed him again. I'm just like, why though? Like, and like just can we please buff like, you know, Dyrmid already, right? Can we in Proto Ku, and can we just do that first? But I feel like they're just never gonna buff them, dude. It's like, it's been so long, and they just ignore them. So it's like, I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. Well, we're definitely gonna win this. Like, we're already pretty far along here. Then this NP is gonna hit really hard. I do think Proto Ku will get buffed eventually. I've heard a lot of people thinking they're gonna buff his disengage someday, but I'm like, I mean, come on now. If we ever get a prototype collab, that would be the time, I feel. So she has some kind of defense buff that lasts 4 turns. Something else, some kind of I don't know what this is. And double NP up. Guess I heal now. How much longer do I have on Guts? 2 turns. I guess I cast Protection from Arrows anyway. That means I probably won't get value out of my Guts, but it's kind of whatever. Could be a damage cut that she's got. Now, I like the Merlin command code here. This kind of works out. That's probably a defense up. It looks like a defense up. That would slower my damage a good bit there. So I could reapply my Guts just to get the attack up, which would legitimately be nice now because I have my NP, but I don't think it's necessary, so I'm not gonna bother. I should have reversed these command codes around, but fine. I really do like the Arjuna command code though. It's a new staple, and it's just kind of an alternative to some of the past staples, and I like that. Okay, I got 2 defense downs now, that's nice. We almost got value out of our Guts there, and if she had like crit harder, we would have needed it, so. I can tell you right now though, just because of this defense gimmick, I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna give, if I have it, I'm gonna give my Proto Ku the Armor Ignore command code so that helps him. But because of this defense up, I think Proto Ku is screwed, and he won't be able to do it. Because regular Ku is being pushed here because of it, so that tells me Proto Ku is just doomed. Should have done more NP gain on that turn because... Nah, we're probably just gonna kill her. Not quite, but okay, yeah, I didn't need my NP, it won't matter. She's dead. Does she cast an NP damage at the end of her turn every turn? It's like a free action. Alright, well, I think we all know Ku is... Over 2 turns, Ku has at least 2 turns of survivability. I think he can do 1,000 damage. Call me crazy. So I think he's got that one. All right, let me get... I spent all that time, and I haven't actually gotten all of Proto Ku's command codes on yet, so give me 1 second. Almost there, though. I unequipped all the ones that I needed. That's a start. Let's see if I got that Armor Ignore one. That's harder at neutral than I thought it would be, though. Wait, is this the Armor Ignore one? I think this is the Armor Ignore one, like the pink sword. I think that's it. Oh god, we just dropped a frame right there. If they were gonna buff Ku's disengage though, I can't even, like, what would you do? Like, I guess the one thing you could do that honestly wouldn't affect his solo too much and his last man standing too much is like a small battery. That would be more of like a farming thing. If it was like 10% or something, like that wouldn't be too bad. And give him quick plus God no, dude, that would be so stupid. Because then he has attack up, defense down, quick up, upgraded in P. Like that's absurd, and then so that much survivability, like that's totally absurd. What to put on our art card here? I'd do art crit up. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, he's ready. And I will remind everyone, my Protoku is completely upgraded. He is 2k foe. Like, he's not like 1600 or anything. He's 2k. He's MP5. The only thing that he's behind on compared to Ku is he doesn't have the faux pas, right? Because I put them on Gwaine. Because Gwaine is just so good with those. But that's overall fairly minor. Although, actually, they do affect him more than Ku because of the way crits work. So it actually is kind of good on Protoku. Just give him an upgraded MP at least. Because here's the thing, Protoku does not, it's not the end of the world if he's not as good as Ku, right? But it'd be nice if he was a bit more comparable and then also like best in his niche, right? Like when fighting a beast, you want to make sure he absolutely is the meta pick. So it's like, if they would just give him an upgraded MP, give him the sure hit and stuff, it'd be good to go. I've seen a lot of people say Pierce vulnerability instead of sure hit. I'd like to see them give him quick up with his NP. Like how Kojiro has. I think that would benefit him a lot. And it would mean he'd make slightly more stars, which would mean slightly better crit chances later and everything, and then also the MP would do more damage. So I think that's a really good way to do it. You could also up his hit count, give him an animation update, and make his quick hit count 3 instead of 2. And that means you could do cooler animations anyway, so... Watch them do that with Ku. God, watch them do that with Ku. Although that wouldn't break Ku that much, because the way his NP gain rate is and everything, if regular Ku got a 3 hit count on his quick, it would definitely make him better, but it wouldn't change him that much. It'd more like lower the RNG on some things, so that wouldn't be that big of a deal. Do I go ahead and do the art to just get rid of... The quick chain is nice here. Yeah, but critting next turn is pointless if you don't have an art card, so we'll do that. Yeah, they changed hit counts. They did for Emiya. Emiya's art used to be 2 hit count, if I remember correctly. Most people just don't realize that because NA started with his animation update. So NA has always had Emiya's higher hit count. They did that though because, you know, Emiya's really popular and his NP gain really was messed up because of that. I've heard people say that, but I wasn't playing it that long ago. But I have heard that there were, like a lot of the stock animations, there was quick attacks that were 1. But I've heard people say they changed them to 2, but I've never had confirmation of that because I didn't play at the very beginning. But that was when they still had stock animations, so like it didn't take any effort. They just literally applied like the other stock half of it, so. But yeah, I wasn't playing back then, so I'm not sure. A lot of like the day 1 stuff, information is hard to come by because there wasn't as much like media covering the game and everything, so information gets lost. I want to use my Star Absorb skill. I mean, Shin only took 2 stars, and I got the 40 on the thing. I could, because he has 4. If Protoku had like 2 cards or 3 cards, I would do it. Because he has 4 cards, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. I think we just take what we got. Hey Ace, what's up? Damn, I should have done my art card. Oh, I just screwed myself. That's really bad. Let's see. I guess I do this anyway. That was a big mistake right there. I thought I was gonna get it. I only got 1 crit there. It's unfortunate. I need to test Protoku again. That's such a big drawback right there that this isn't even a fair comparison right now. That's pretty fucked. I'm gonna shuffle here just to see if I get a lucky crit on a quick card. I don't see me needing it later. Nope, didn't change the crit chances on my quicks at all. They're exactly the same. That'd be cool if they gave Dyrmid buff removal on normal attack. Lost about 3 Lancers got that, so. See, I probably could have broken by now if this had gone a little bit better. And see, my big crit turn goes into a 15k health thing. Like, who cares about that? So, that's really shitty. The only good thing about that is I can overkill to make some extra stars, but I had more stars in the previous turn anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Well, Proto-Coup does have a thing in lore where he can like understand beasts really well and like communicate with them, and really good at hunting them and that kind of thing, so that's why he's got it. Okay. My debuff resistance doing me some good there. Do I do that 90% Buster crit? It'll lower my crits next turn, but yeah, let's do it. We can see if the armor ignore works. Assuming that's the right command code. Yep, it worked, because you could see the defense icon wasn't there. So that is really good here. That's like his ticket to winning. I think I might need to work in the heal. If I had like 1,000 or 2,000 more health right now, I might be able to survive until my protection from arrows comes back again, and that's the only way. You're not gonna kill her fast enough otherwise. Got exposed to some of that COVID. Damn, that sucks. So hopefully you don't get it, and if you do get it, hopefully it's a mild one. That sucks, man. Good luck. I've known several people that have gotten it. I've been lucky, and I have not left my home in like a year now, but you know, my housemate Tusk is still out and about for like his job and stuff, so he could always get it and give it to me. Man, we're pretty fucking close to winning right here. I actually think he can do it. We just need to counterpick her a little bit more with command codes, basically. Because literally, if I could heal myself up and live one more turn, we would win. Because then protection from arrow comes back. Crit, please crit. Come on. Damn it. Wouldn't have won there anyway, but pride, you know. Alright, let me give him one more try. I think he might be able to do this. It's gonna be tough, and it's gonna be a bit RNG on like how much damage he decides to do to us and whatnot. But it's within his ability to do it. By the way, if Ku used that armor ignore, he would have done even better, but okay, hold up. Where do I want to put in the heal? That's like really important. Probably cut the art crit. Can I the thing is, I don't know if I can work in the heal boost. That's gonna be hard to work in here. I'll just do the heal for now and see if that's good enough, but we might need more than that. Slightly better start than last time. See if I can get my MP on turn 1 this time though, that'd be a big help. Man, that skill name is so long, I wonder what it is. No, the Bond Grails are not the most valuable thing in the Rare Prism shop at all. Not even close. They're not even that important, to be honest. It's more like a gold star for your favorite units, and like, oh hey, if you want to keep using them, you can get some SQ with them every once in a while. But I mean every once in a while. They're not valuable at all, to be honest. Like, Bond 15 is an e-penis thing. It's not a, oh, this is actually practical thing. Like sure, if you've got extra Rare Prisms, and you got some favorite units that are sitting there at Bond 10 or Bond 11, and you want to get them higher, sure, go for it. But it's not that big of a deal. Generally, I would prioritize with Rare Prisms, I would prioritize getting things like Anniversary Blonde, the Mystic Code, getting things like the CCC Rerun, the main interlude, right? Assuming you haven't already like gotten the Grails from that. Because Grails are way more important, like Jesus. And then getting things like the staple craft essences, you know, the Arjuna one, the Attila one with Pierce Invulnerability, the Melty Sweetheart, MASH one, like grabbing those is definitely better. The thing is, you don't get 30 SQ anytime soon, at all, right? Going from Bond 10 to Bond 11, it takes like as long as it takes to go from Bond 1 to Bond 10 again. And that 30 SQ is nice, like sure, you know, if you can get it while you're at it, why not? But it's so much farming for so little SQ in the long run that it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, if you got nothing else to get with them, and you've got a unit sitting there, you know, you could bond up, then you might as well. But like for a lot of people, their Bond 11 is not going to exceed the free ones that they give out that much. So it's really not that big of a deal. But you know, like if you got the Rare Prisms, you know, might as well. No, they're not bad to get. You know, getting some SQ every once in a while, right? That's not no one's going to complain about that. We are still not going to get our NP in time. That is more of the fault of the fucking CEs I'm using and not so much the game right here. Because yeah, the other CEs, if this one was the upgraded CE, I'd have it, and then if the other one was, I'd actually be over by 5%. That really sucks. Like, he really needs that not to happen. Let me reset, just because, you know, if it was regular coup, he can make it, because he's got the extra value, but Proto Coup is so pushing it, we've got to get our NP there. The only servant I'm actually trying to get Bond 15 on is Coup. I don't care about anyone else. Like, you know, if I'll slap whenever they give out those bonus, you know, Bond Grails, I'll use them. And if I get a unit higher than Bond 10, great, but I'm not prioritizing it at all. But like, I put one on Mordred, right, and she got Bond 11, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's not something I worry about too much. Now see, that is an opening hand I can get behind. We're wasting our heal, unfortunately, but at least we're getting our stuff. I might not want to put that on our art card, though, when I think about it. Oh, right, I didn't need to do the art card first, because it doesn't remove the buff until the end of the turn. It's not like you do the art card and BAM! They're back to being a Lancer. It doesn't work that way. Shin cards, let's not be that cursed. Although if we made Chin cards, you'd make it so it would work outside of just that. You'd want it to work when you're NPing somebody. Like that mischievous, you know, face of his, right? You do that kind of thing, right? Like the glasses, you know, that emote for him. You do that kind of vibe. Okay, do I use my first skill? I don't really think so. Maybe I use my third skill just because it's not gonna have any use, and if we can YOLO some bullshit lucky, you know, crit on a card. Okay, no, we actually made it worse. Okay, well I wasn't really expecting to crit there anyway, so not that big of a deal. That would have been really cool, Red. That would have been super cool. We could use a quick caster. And his original class is caster. Okay, we definitely do this now. RNG, please. Give me these crits. They're all above 50%. Man, we could have broke there. We could have broke there with just 2 crits. Yeah, I think you need to break there. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my. You have to break there because now I have a whole NP going into the void. Oh my god, dude. Maybe I should give him the Star Absorb command code. That might be better. Just try to sure up a second crit. God, dude. That was awful. I might give Protoku then the Merlin thing again, just to sure up getting his NP in time. That's what he needs to do to win here. He needs to get his NP when his taunts die, and then he needs to break that health bar with crits. That's like if those 2 things happen, and he doesn't get like triple buster crit, I think he'll win. So much less reliable than Ku though. Like Ku can do this literally no matter what the RNG does. I'm pretty sure. It's just okay, this sucks, but at least you have NP gain. I don't need a high roll, no. High rolling would not have helped there. Like a high roll wouldn't add that much damage. What you just needed to crit. Like, cause we had a chance, we had 3 crits there, and they all had over 50% crit chance, but only 1 of them crit. We needed 2 of them to crit. Which was actually statistically likely, so just unfortunate there. Another thing you could have is just have a random crit go off when you're doing your NP turn, but that's not particularly likely. The only way high rolling would have helped is if our NP had low rolled, and in absence of a low roll it high rolled. The difference between that would probably have been enough. But what's more likely is we mid rolled, right? So the high rolling would only have been a little bit extra damage anyway, so. Got an okay crit chance here, nothing amazing. I don't think I use my 3rd skill then and just see if we get lucky. Might as well go for it here. But yeah, see, if Protoku gave himself a quick up buff, his NP would hit harder, and then he might make an extra star or 2. And that makes his crit turn coming up a little bit better. Fuck, we didn't land the defense down. That actually sucks. That's gonna really add up. Defense down is basically attack up, which makes your crits better, so that's pretty shitty. And then if they did increase his hit count on his quick card, then he'd make like, 35 stars potentially. That'd be awesome. I might use my 3rd skill here. We didn't make as many stars this time. I'll do it just to see if we can get like a standout card that just happens to do really well here. Yeah, we got 100% crit. Okay, that's something. We still, because we didn't land that defense down though, we definitely need 2 crits here, and that still might not happen at 40-60. Wow! Again, same shit, dude. Same shit. Every time that turn is just like, nope. That sucks, dude. God. But yeah, he doesn't have quite enough Starge in there to guarantee it. And yeah, he might crit on the next turn, right? And he still has the crit buff. It's just the way the health bar, system works. It doesn't do us any good. Yeah, he's having a way harder time here than regular Kun. I don't know what her magic resist is. I don't think it's that high. I mean, even if your magic resist is A, it's still not good odds of guarding anything. Let's see. Her magic resist is A. That's her only passive. She has no other passive. That's kind of fucked up. But so yeah, she has a 20% chance of guarding the defense down, which means it's an 80% chance of not. Terrible opening hand. We have a 50% chance to get a Brave Chain here, which would turn it around. Frickin' Matahari has no passive. which is pretty lore accurate, but she doesn't have a whole lot of good stuff going her way, but you could have given her something, for God's sakes. I hate to blow the heel here, but gotta get that NP. I should have done my Star Absorb that turn, I think. She doesn't have Present Concealment in lore, like she doesn't. She has Espionage instead, which is basically a worse Present Concealment. There's so many people out there that act like it's good. Espionage is so not good. It is a strict downgrade to like making yourself appear as a regular human is a dramatic downgrade to being fucking invisible, right? Like, it's not even close. Because there's so many circumstances where enemy masters and servants would kill a regular human anyway. Right, like, Lancer went to kill Shiro at the beginning of Fate's Day Night because he thought he was a regular human, and regular humans aren't supposed to witness servants. Right, so if that had been Mata Hari, he would have gone to kill her anyway, right? It's not great. Okay, now I'll use my third skill. We might get lucky here. I had like, okay, it literally is the same RNG, but the RNG was so bad before, you might as well take it. Like that 50% crit on the Buster there. Yeah, I could have given her an actual skill. The thing is, I don't think she has enough skills in lore to actually fill out her, like, her bar otherwise. They made it a passive. I don't know if she would make it. They have to make up something new. There's no way we're doing 80k here, I don't think. Must be triple crit. Well, we might be able to do it with a double crit. So I should do the 70% if I really want to get another crit in here, but I'm gonna go for the bigger peak damage. I think we need it. We're doing quite bad on this one. How? Bro! How? We've done this. That's the third time. We have done that turn 3 times now. And every time, we're at least favored to crit twice, right? Maybe not massively, but all 3 times we have been favored to crit twice, and we never fucking have. And in that one, we didn't crit at all. None of them crit. Okay, just once game, I want to see what'll happen if we just crit twice once. Like, I want to get my NP, and then I want to crit. That is not statistically unlikely. I do want to be clear about this. Like, we're not trying to YOLO some crazy ass, you know, really unlikely thing. Like, we're not. It's just the world hates Protoku, which is why he can't have buffs, apparently. Crit machine broke. Yep, gotta put another quarter in. Can you imagine Nukehead doing her NP inside of a building like this? Like, the building would not survive. Have they ever used this background for something else, like not in Saber Wars? Because I don't remember it, but it's also kind of a forgettable background. Because I feel like they can't be asked to have made like a whole lot of backgrounds just for this event, but yeah, her NT is pretty cool. I mean, Mata Hari is a pretty good budget unit though, for just damage up for the team. But they could give her a little bit extra. I mean, I might as well YOLO it. Nope, not any better. I actually think if you cast Unlimited Blade Works, it should change the background, but They don't want to fuck up their dramatic boss fights. Wow, we've done even less damage this time. She has 100k now. I think this is the worst we've ever done. Now I don't think we're gonna break even if we do crit. Yeah, now we finally crit, and we don't even break because she still has so much fucking life left. This sucks. Can we get? By the way, if Protoku had an upgraded NP, this wouldn't be happening. Like I'm serious. Every single one of these attempts that we've done, every single one, we would have broken on that turn if he had an upgraded NP like regular Ku. By the way, regular Ku gets an upgraded NP and an attack buff. Totally fair, guys. All right, last try for Protoku. So we'll just go with what we get, and then we'll switch because yeah, he's having a bad time here. It's actually a pretty bad idea to try to get a small army with Motohari because first off, anything you're gonna be able to charm that easily is so weak. Wow, guys, I got 30 humans on my side here. Too bad the enemy's got an AoE NP and just kills them all anyway. Like, and then yeah, you're gonna piss off the church and everything else. And then if it's so abnormal to have an army of zombies running around that it just gives away that she's a servant and everything. Like it's not very helpful. What everyone forgets with Motohari is that people don't sit around and do nothing, right? It's like, look at actual masters. You know, Kenneth had all those traps set up in his hotel, right? And Tokiomi had all that stuff set up around his house, and they have familiars and everything. They're not going to allow some random human to walk into their area anyway. It doesn't matter if they don't realize Motohari's not a servant. They're going to kill them anyway, right? And then Motohari doesn't have the skill like an Hassan does to avoid the traps, right? She can't do that. So it's like, it's not good. Now you can plot armor, you know, and contrive some BS to, you know, have it work out perfectly, but do I take the art chain? We're not gonna do much damage anyway because she's a Saber right now. I guess we do just in case we get like fucking nothing next turn. That's bad though because, you know, we keep pushing it on damage here. And unfortunately, Motohari is not an explosive expert, so she can't blow the hotel up either. Now that's a hand. I can dig this. Make some stuff. Why didn't I just NP? Why did I just NP there? I had the quick chain. Like normally you don't NP there if you get your NP early because you don't have the cards to like optimize it and whatnot. But I did. Like I literally did. Well, we'll just pretending we didn't get that good RNG, right? We'll just pretend that didn't happen, and we're just trying to mimic a more normal run, guys. You see, we're trying to be honorable here. Can we? Oh, there it is. There's the 20% screwing us over there. Okay, fantastic. We did more damage this time, but now we'll do less damage with the crits because yeah, we don't have our. It adds up, man. It adds up. Defense down with crit up is good shit. All right, I can re-roll if I don't like my cards here. We got 60, 70, 100. I think I'm gonna re-roll that. I don't particularly like that spread. Okay, 70, 60, 80. Now the defense down though, I don't know if this will work. Fuck, he didn't crit! God! Well, it's pretty obvious that statistically you're not gonna break here that often. Although I think we should have gotten some that we've had horrible luck, but you know, sometimes you're just not gonna have low enough health, right? So the crits won't even work. We did have multiple times though where the crits would have worked and we just didn't get the crits, even though the crits were likely, but yeah, it is what it is. Do I heal here? This is a good time to heal. It's a bad time to use an art card though. Well, too bad. I wanted to make stars here, big time. God, look, because we didn't break there, look at how much we're gonna overcharge. Oh God, I can't, we're gonna almost get to 200% or some crap. Honestly, Matahari and Shiro would not get along on any level. Like, I don't think they're gonna like hit each other, but like their whole philosophy of like how to live is so different. Like, I don't think that would go very well. We're at 185, dude. Brutal. The best... I mean, it's not really mass brainwashing, like, you can only get so much done with it. Oh my God! I want to point out, 80% chance to land the debuff has failed it both times. Why can't our 20% work that much? Fuck me, dude. We had a 50% chance to resist the burn, by the way, and we didn't. We had a 50% debuff resist, and we fucking got hit by the burn. And then she's over here with 20%, and she resists defense down twice. Fucking crap, dude. Rigged. Guess we do this. Oh, now we crit. Just now we crit. But the best master for Matahari is a master that's like overpowered and can do well on their own because she's so bad. And we're at 98% now. This run has been so cursed. This run has been so freaking cursed. Well, we can get some health back, but I mean, it's all he could win if you are able to get your NP in time, you break that health bar, right, and then you don't stop at 98%. All those things combined are easily like the amount of value that we're missing here. At least our heals actually did save our ass. If we didn't heal, we would be dead right now. We might still win. If she doesn't cast Guts here, oh man, I shouldn't have done my NP then. I should have NP'd next turn. Because yeah, now she's just really likely to cast Guts, and if she casts Guts, we're screwed. Because I need my NP to get past it. No, we're not gonna do 97k though anyway. He's close. I mean, it's obvious if all these horrible bad luck things didn't happen, he would win. But when you need that, you need to be able to weather some bad luck. That's the point. You need to be able to have, like, because naturally some things are going to go well and some things are going to go poorly, and you want to have enough value on the unit that you can weather a few things going poorly. But he really can't here. Also, I like how again we got hit by the burn. Great. Hey Zarek, thank you for the 20-month sub, man. Well, he tried. He does have a nice turn right here. It's just not enough. Yeah, he's close. I mean, it's obvious. If we had just like broken and stuff, it would have been fine. Like, doable, but not. He would not have a good win rate. I don't know what his win rate would be, but it's not going to be good. Meanwhile, I think regular Ku's win rate there, if you play properly, is probably 100%. Maybe like 95. There's always that insanity with the enemy like Buster critting 6 times in a row or something, right? Like there's always some weird thing that could happen, but regular Ku's win rate there is crazy high. Because he has more value to make sure those fucked up turns don't happen, and then he's got so much more living anyway that if they do happen, he can weather it. Ku did better, and Ku didn't have command codes that were as good for the stage. Alright, we said we'd do an archer, and then try to never let her transform, so they need to never use an art card. Yeah, Bazette would be good. But even Bazette with Matahari, I don't think would... Ash is not a bad idea. I like that. Yeah, let's see if we can get Hot Wheels in here. But yeah, even Bazette, I don't think would win with Matahari. It's just you have better odds. But it's not like it's not like Bazette is going to be able to actually 1v1 most servants. She can't. You know, she can help fight a servant, but alright, he's up. Alright, let's see here. Oh, is he all slot? Nope, not yet. Oh, you can put him up, so I have to give it a minute here. Nice 999, by the way. Yeah, Ari, didn't you get like every Ishtar at once? Or every Rin at once, excuse me. Reshigal is not Ishtar. Tesla though. Casual Hot Wheels is up, yeah. Yeah, honestly, Angra is better than Matahari, definitely, because Angra has significantly higher stats than like, it's not even close. Angra is much stronger than Matahari. Not that Angra is amazing, but he's not. Angra is pretty terrible too, but Angra has good enough stats to at least, as Saber Nero put it, fight defensively against a servant. He can do that. Because not only does he have higher stats than Matahari, but he actually has combat experience. She has none. She cannot fight at all. Zip. Where Angra actually can. He's not like god tier at it, but he can fight. And he has Noble Phantasm weapons, so he can block a Noble Phantasm strike. You know, if Artoria swings Excalibur and Angra, he can block it with his blades. Right? Now, he can't block it forever, right? Her blade will break his eventually. Matahari can block it with her forehead and die, right? Whoop-de-doo, right? It's not very helpful. And then Angra, because Angra actually has a decent agility stat, and then Angra's, you know, NP is useful. Yeah, it's not as good as being able to just kill somebody, right? Of course not. It coincidentally works perfectly with Bazette, right? Like, that's what, it's like magical with Bazette. But with anyone else, it's not that good, right? But it's still something. Matahari would almost never live long enough to be able to do, like, even to try to charm someone. And then in a normal Grey War, most servants are immune to her charm. You have more servants that are immune to it than not. That's not good. And then once you expose yourself once, her espionage never works again, right? With presence concealment, you can reveal yourself, do the dirty deed and, like, you know, stab someone in the face or whatever, right? And then go back into stealth again. And then other servants can't see you now. If Matahari ever exposes herself as a servant, she can never use espionage again. And it's like, that's really not good, right? That's not great. Do we do Atlas? He likes crits like a lot. No, we gotta win quick. We gotta win super quick. Because we have to take advantage of the fact that she's not a Lancer, and if she ever turns into a Lancer, we're screwed. Watch it force me to do an art card here. Yeah, I know, if Angra like just jumped on Kiyohime, Angra would win. I mean, easy. Like, it's not even, because she's another servant, has absolutely abysmal stats and has no combat ability whatsoever. She's a gimmick servant, very much so, where it's all about the NP. Like, just terrible stats, no combat knowledge whatsoever. Even as her Lancer self, it says she does. For some reason, she's gained some combat knowledge, they say, and that's just an excuse to have her not be, you know, clearly useless. But she still doesn't really know how to use her spear like masterfully at all. But as regular Matahari, she has no combat abilities and no skill, no tactics either. And then really, really low stats. But then she has a very, very powerful NP. Well, we got a Brave Chain, but we can't use it because, hard card. I think I do this. Set up some crits here, it's fine. Dude, all of Hot Wheels' ascensions are awesome. They're honestly all so awesome, I truly don't know which one I would go with. I think because, like, I see, and I use Ares Hot Wheels pretty often, and I see and use I Love Arjuna's Hot Wheels pretty often, and they're stage 1 and stage 2. I would probably just use stage 3 to just complete the circle, right? And stage 3 is cool. The colors are a bit much. But I still like his stage 3, and he's actually got my favorite hair out of the 3, would be stage 3's hair, even though the colors are a bit out there. But it looks cool. So yeah, I'd probably go with stage 3, but I'd probably mix it up every once in a while because you know, his stage 2 is awesome with the armor, dude. It's so awesome. But then stage 1's good too, so I guess stage 1 is kind of like his normal self. So yeah, they're all good. Like I don't have the least bit of hate for any of his stages. Every single one of them is fucking awesome. Do I just NP right now, or do I want to save my? Nah, yeah, I think we NP right now. Wait, I don't think I should have done the Buster up there because we're gonna break without it. Fuck. I think I do quick send. Man, I just messed that up. Cause yeah, it's only 130. As long as we avoid our art card, like this will be easy. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of issues with her NP. I mean, it's good and it's very powerful. But yeah, first off, there's a lot of servants that do counter dragons. There's quite a few servants that counter dragons, so that's a problem. But there's also servants that just have good defensive abilities, right? Like, they can just block it anyway, right? Like, or just beat it in a clash, right? It's not like it's the only strong NP out there. You got like Tesla, who's got an EX defense NP and offense NP. You know, he'd obviously be completely fine. You know, as with like Achilles and some other ones, right? And then some people could just dodge it or escape, and a lot of servants could just kill her before she used it. Like, now if there's plot armor involved, right? Most writers are not going to write a story with Kiyohime in it where she doesn't get to show off her NP, so they're going to make sure she gets it off. But for example, Emiya, I'm serious, if Emiya and Kiyohime were in the same war, I mean, there's no plot armor, so no power of the pen. I would say more times than not, Emiya would end up just sniping her and killing her before she ever did anything of note. She cannot hide herself as a servant. She's incredibly slow. She's also reckless and stupid and all these other things. And if she ever gave away that she ever used her NP, then obviously Emiya's going to be looking out for it. So I think she would just get her head blown off by like grunting or something, and then that's that. Like, she's really susceptible to those kinds of things because again, she doesn't have a, you know, mind's eye. She doesn't have a giant shield. She doesn't have stealth. She doesn't, none of these things. But if she does get her NP off, it is very, very strong. Like, there's, you know, it's fucking EX rank. I'm kind of worried she might live and then cast Guts and then NP and kill me. I win next turn. So I should cast Guts now. I do need to get my NP though to be safe. This should work. Because I want, if she casts Guts, I want my NP to target switch. I probably should have put my quick card last. Or I could, like, I could have set that up to have killed her there. Well, we have to get our NP. We have to get our NP and we win. The thing is, plot armor is so much more than just like protecting the main character. Like, there's just certain things that, like, when they're in a story, they're gonna contrive to make sure they happen because they know the audience wants to see it or whatever, right? They're like, you're not gonna put Kiyohime in a book and not have her use her NP. Even if it's like logical that like Emiya or Billy or someone just snipes her and boom, dead. They're just not gonna let the story play out that way. They're just gonna not have the meat or whatever. They're just gonna make sure that doesn't happen because it's so anticlimactic, right? Because most Fate stories, they try to, you know, kind of show off a little bit of everyone to some degree, and then it's not, so yeah, someone's gonna get screwed over at some point, of course. But you know, there's no way a story would use Kiyohime and not have her survive a while because she's just too popular, and then she's got a big fancy NP. Like, logically, it's obviously a huge drawback having all your eggs in just the NP basket and having terrible stats, no stealth, no skill, no defense, you know, no tactics. You know, these are all horrible drawbacks that would just easily... But here's a good example. Most of the decisions Rin makes in Fate Stay Night are such bad decisions that in a logical world, right, she would have died for them repeatedly. Even though she had a good, strong servant like Emiya, her decision-making is so poor that she would have died in Fate Stay Night, like, so fast, because she just made really stupid decisions. But she always gets bailed out by the plot, because you can't have a main, you know, character like that just die because they're an idiot, you know, on the second day. You can't do that. Like, without plot armor, she would have died to Ryder, like, immediately. Because she was being stupid, right? Like, and then also she would have just died to Shiro if Shiro didn't, you know, wasn't a softie and everything, right? So many decisions she makes throughout it would have just gotten her, like, instantly killed. By the way, Hot Wheels wrecked this. Feels good, man. Those, it's a shame we never got to set up that optimal turn where you crit and NP, but it just didn't work out that way. Oh yeah, Nobu has no chance against Tesla. Not even close. Like her one big trump card doesn't even work on him, because not only is he not divine, he is literally the opposite of divine. Like, if there's ever a servant her thing would not work on, it's Tesla, because he himself is so against the gods and is all about human ingenuity, you know, not relying on superstition and all that kind of stuff. And then he has a stronger NP than hers anyway. Never mind the divinity stuff. Like, he has a stronger NP than her, and he also has can use it defensively, which would easily go to block anything she could do. And then he can absorb a lot of, you know, nonsense she can do. You know, all the other versions of Nobu that make fire and everything, you just absorb it, and he gets free mana back from it and everything. So it's a horrible matchup for Nobu. There's literally nothing she can do to really hurt him. And he can just, you know, light tonal ring, or however the fuck he says it. It's like so not how you're supposed to say that. But just do that and there you go. And then his NP would definitely kill her. But I don't think he would even need it, to be honest. Alright, let's get these other wanted quests over with. I don't have that many, actually. Although I bet you I can buy some. Let me check the shop. It wouldn't surprise me if I have someone that I can get. Yep, kind of figured. Maybe Tokiomi doesn't die that early, and he's still in it a decent amount. Okay, it's another one of these. Let's I don't even know what we're fighting, but I kind of want to give Potoku another shot. Just see what happens. He's gonna obviously have to turn the enemy not into a Saber, otherwise he's in so much trouble here. Maybe they're an archer or a berserker. That would help. As dumb as Ren's decisions are, I don't think Tokiomi would actually disown her. He actually really does care about his kids. And everyone thinks, but what about Sakura? The thing is, he is unaware of what happened to Sakura, right? If he had known, he would not have given Sakura to the Motos. Like, absolutely he would not have. He legitimately thinks what he did, you know, gave her a brighter future, and that's why he did it. Like, he does not hate his kids at all. He obviously has mega Magus pride and cares about, you know, what Magus families are supposed to do and everything. But it's not like he hates his kids or anything. I don't know if they would get along, but Gilgamesh probably does respect Tesla, and it's kind of implied because of the, if I remember correctly, Tesla's one of the people that's not weak to Aya. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean anything in, like, lore. That's a gameplay thing. You know, obviously Tesla would still, you know, have a bad time against Aya, clearly. But most of the people that are not weak to Aya, it's two things. They either have some kind of spacey knowledge, you know, they're from space or seen things from space, like clairvoyance, or have a connection to space, or they're people that have, like, moved humanity forward a lot. It's straight up those two things. They either have a connection to, like, the void or space, or, you know, super mind's eye, clairvoyance kind of thing. Or there's someone like Romulus or Tesla that has moved, you know, humanity forward a lot. Because Gil's goal is for humanity to move forward and progress and eventually reach the stars and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think he would see Tesla as like someone that's worthy and has, you know, done good and is, you know, not lazy, and he's, you know, done a lot for himself and humanity, right? So he'd respect him. I don't know if they would get along though, because, you know, they're both kind of egotistical to a degree and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they might butt heads anyway. So I don't know, depends. But again, would respect him, but doesn't mean they're gonna get along in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, they both don't like the gods, so that's a thing. Alright, what's her, her thing is not any card color, so it's probably critting or using an NP. That's super nasty because, we're not gonna do any of those things for a while, and if our NP does, like, no damage, that's awful. I'm gonna hope it's critting. This is not good. Leonidas, would you care to crit? No? Oh yeah, sure, Ariel, let me bring it up here. There we go. All the other ones have been easy. Actually, MHXX doesn't work on enemies like this. We had already speculated that was the case, but we tested it yesterday. Her Saber bonus is not tied to what actual class they are. It's tied to what they are inherently. Enemy turn? Huh. Maybe it's after a certain number of turns or something. Although I don't see a number, so... Huh. I don't know what the hell that is. Well, that's really bad for Protoku then. I know all of these, though, don't break until their turn happens. Like, if you meet the criteria, it doesn't trigger until their turn, right? Like, if it's, like, use an art card, you use the art card, and then it doesn't go away until their turn happens. So that might be what that part is, but I don't... I mean, it's gotta be something. I wonder if it's if she uses her NP. I wonder if that's it. You know, we should use Enkidu and see how he does, even if he's being counterclassed. That would actually be pretty exciting, I feel. Well, didn't get our NP. It's pretty bad. Well, it's not critting. I wonder if it's like a certain number of turns of hers have to go by and they just don't tell you. Oh, we need a gut CE, by the way. That's like always how you have to fight hers with a gut CE. But if we can't figure out how to break her thing, we wouldn't have been able to win anyway. Yeah, we'll give Enkidu a go after this. What? Why is it gone now? I couldn't even tell you, dude. I have no idea. Was that our first time we didn't peed? Was that the first time we didn't peed there? Maybe it was like the turn after we impede. That's what it normally does, it's the turn after. So maybe it's in P. I don't understand. What would really help is a way to test it is to like bring someone with K-scope. Because it could be a coincidence. It's not necessarily NP damage. Like, it's not necessarily NP damage. It could be a coincidence. It could have been enough turns that just happened to go by and we just happened to use our NP on that turn. So it's not like it's guaranteed. That's why I was saying bringing someone with K-scope is a way to like figure it out. Like, I'm gonna do that real quick. We'll bring K-scope real fast and just see what happens. Here, I'll just slap it on my Enkidu. I'll give them command codes in a minute, but we're wanting to just test out the gimmick here. Okay. Because, I don't know, maybe they worded it as, like, you know, special treasure or some bullshit, I don't even know. Debuff, that could be it. Yep, that would make sense. That would make sense. That's kind of fun, too, because some units have a much easier time doing that than others. I guess just bring Shin-Gong. So that's funny, I'm glad we thought of that, because otherwise I would like NP here, and be like, oh, see, it broke again, see, it's the NP, but it's actually the debuff from the defense down and the stun. You know, those are both debuffs, so it would be that. Yeah, I'll show it again. Oh wait, fuck, it's not gonna be there. Yeah, it's gonna go away here. We'll bring it up on the next one. He just did that much damage, by the way, to a fucking Saber. Totally balanced. Totally balanced, by the way. Let me give him command codes here. Though I'm kind of thinking he's not going to need them, but it's nice to show units at their best. Although I may not actually give him the best command codes because I'm just fucking lazy. So I might just give him some command codes and just roll with it. Let's see. We'll give him the heal boost, although so often he doesn't need it. I'll give him the threat to humanity one. Is that the blue Saber one? The blue Saber cross one? I think it is. I think that's on Billy right now. I think the red cross one is 25% crit damage to Sabers, and the blue one I think is just 10% damage to Sabers, and then 10% damage to threat to humanity. Although really, as fancy as that is, there's no reason to use it. Because if they're not a Saber all the time, you could just use like the Gilgamesh one or whatever. Like that's not actually that useful. Honestly, just in general, that's not that useful of a command code. Like it's kind of good against Sabers because it's 10% damage against Sabers all the time. But there's so many other command codes to get that kind of damage as well. It's like a backup one you give to like a servant that you don't want to respec and you don't want them taking up your best command codes. Guess I'll put the heal on his art card because you can skip his art card so easily if you want to. I should give him Star Bomb on his quick, but I'm so lazy that I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll give him the, I think she has Divinity, so we'll give him the, yeah, she does, Outer God nonsense. We'll give him the Enkidu one just to be thematic here. Okay, good enough. These are not meta by any means, but I don't think he needs to be meta. Now, Black Grail would be fucking amazing here, because he would pretty much one-shot each health bar, but we don't want it to be that much of a joke, so we'll just Golden Sumo. The tried and true. Oh look, Black Grail. I might give him default. I don't think he's gonna need Atlas here. I think he's gonna win so fast. Yeah, I think we'll just do default. Although, Atlas, if we get stunned, yeah, okay, fine. This is boring, but, I think Canis might get a command code someday. She's not super popular, but she's popular enough. I could see them doing that. It'll be a while, though, because she was so prominent in the Lost Belts. I don't think they're going to use her in an event anytime soon. And that's pretty, almost, you know, command codes are generally not linked to the story. They're linked to, like, events. And sometimes very silly events. And so, yeah, enough time has to go by for her to, for them to be like, oh, yeah, we can feature her again, right? Because although Lee was in the main story, then boom, right in an event, he wasn't in the main story very much. Where Canis was in it a lot, so... Oh my fucking god. Also, I should bring Shin-Gong anyway. Although it's almost boring if you can get rid of... Oh, okay, chat, do you want Shin-Gong or no? Because it is kind of boring if you can debuff her that easy. Right? Because then it's just like, boom, she's a foreigner. Which, that's kind of easy mode. So why can I not summon myself again already? To test? Yes, true, it is good for testing, I suppose. I just relogged. This is stupid. I just relogged. I've relogged twice now. I've now relogged 3 times. So Zaw, I'm curious, is the 8 in the name important? Like, is it on the test? I could also give a command code that has a debuff. Yeah, let me do that. Even if it's a suboptimal one, well, that's a way to test it and not make the fight too much, like, too easy. Yes, it is important. Yeah, I kind of figured because it was there on Twitch and in game. Okay, you know what? Here's what we'll do. I don't need my AP anyway. Well, we'll bring Shin-Gong, not that one. And then we can just reset if we want to make it harder. Alright, while y'all look at that, although at this point it seems very odd, it must be debuff. It must be, but let me get water. Now it'd be interesting if it was a specific kind of debuff, but I doubt it is. Alright, I'm back. What a miss. Eight is my favorite number. Makes sense. Mine's probably 13 because everybody's supposed to like not like 13 because it's supposed to be unlucky, but that's stupid. I should have just used Qingong first. I don't know why I didn't do that. That voice acting though. Also that hit count. I'm just gonna pretend I don't have my NP right now. Huh, that did not get rid of it. Maybe it is defense down. I wonder if, is it defense down? It's either that or some other bullshit. What the fuck? That's so specific. That's kind of good though. I guess that makes Enkidu so good here though. Because then he literally can't not trigger it. I wonder if we use your Buster up. Anyway, even though it's gonna like wreck the damage. Let's see if we can actually punch through anyway. Dude, if you give him Black Grail, he is so breaking. Like, regardless. Yeah, we'll do full damage. A 141k to a Saber, dude. Oh, we didn't get our bonus damage there. That makes sense though, she is from space. That's cool though, before when we had the armor ignore, you could see that the defense buff wasn't applying. Alright, let's do this for real now. Now that we know what's going on. We'll still do Enkidu though, because I think Enkidu will do just fine here. Do we have to give him a gut CE? I wonder. I guess it depends if she quick charges or not. If she doesn't quick charge, you'll be able to kill her before she ever uses her NP. Like, absolutely. Gut CE is definitely a lot safer, though. Also, you get to do the LOL, go from, like, no health to back to full again thing. And that's just fun, so I guess we'll do that. I do think Enkidu could definitely beat this without it, though. You would just want to break faster or focus on getting, like, NP spam. Because stun buys you time anyway, but you could definitely kill her before she ever got her NP off. Be a bit random though. We killed the music. And I can't summon myself. This game, dude. This fucking game. Dude, I miss the days of only having like 15 people on my friends list because you could just always summon the people on your friends list, like no matter when they logged on. It's great. YouTube does have emotes. I don't know why people keep thinking they don't. They've had them for a really long time. And every time I use an emote on YouTube, people are like, oh, how are you doing that? The main reason, like the big difference is that there are no global emotes. You only get emotes for subscribing to somebody. Or I'm sorry, doing a membership, which is subscribing, right? But yeah, where on Twitch, obviously you get emotes that way too, but then there's also global ones. But there are no global YouTube ones. But yeah, they've had them for ages. They've had them for a long fucking time. Now, I may be mistaken, but I want to say you also can't use YouTube emotes. Like, if you, let's say you subscribe to me, like, if you subscribe to me on YouTube or membership, whatever the fuck, which don't do that, by the way, you get no value out of it. But if you do, you can use, like, you know, the George cards and stuff, right? All that nonsense. But I think you can only use it on my channel, which is not that awesome, right? So, that's a big part of it. But people just don't even bother. If they have emotes, they don't even, like, bother to use them. That's, like, the whole thing. YouTube memberships are pointless. Like, they're, you know, and, like, basically, the creator has to contrive reasons to make it worth your while, right? Instead of, like, YouTube putting in good systems and stuff. Like, because the creator, if they want to, can just, like, you can put videos behind membership. You can't see these videos unless you do the membership and things like that. But that, like, that's dumb, right? Like, that doesn't generally work very well, so... Okay, what am I doing? I guess we evade, because you're not going to evade an NP anyway, so... Just do it now. Double crit down. Right, so I gotta get my NP, like, ASAP. I want to make stars too, though. I wish one of those had crit. Like, it doesn't even matter which one, I just wish one of them had crit. Man, I am not used to these animations, because I normally fight her boss version, which is stage 3, I guess? Not stage 1. I'll still go for damage, see if we can break here. I mean, sometimes you want a quick chain on Enkidu, it's a matter of, like, when. I actually really like Enkidu because of that. There's a lot of nuance to his deck usage. I think we just let her blast us in the face because we don't, it doesn't really matter that much. Because we'll get right back in the game right after it. We just need to win before she NPs again, so it's gonna be a little tricky. That'd be funny, because I've soloed the Salem Abigail, like no problem. It'd be fun if he failed against this one. Having not broke yet. Oh, she removed our heal boost. That actually kind of sucks. Why you gotta do that? We would have gotten 15,000 life back there. Abigail, please. I'm actually gonna put the art card like last, not because it needs to be, but I want to get the heal boost, so maybe I do. No, it's not worth doing the Buster card. It doesn't make any sense. I guess we do. It's such a backwards turn, but It's min-maxes the healing, so... She better have a hell of a gimmick when you break her health bar, otherwise she's in a lot of trouble here. Watch her get her full NP. That would be a problem. No, that's sadly not gonna help you much. By the way, if we wanted to, we could have just not used our third skill until now. Wouldn't make any difference, really, because we had evade, so... Alright, chat, will she live? I'm kinda doubtful. I feel like there's no shame in being a boss that gets Omega countered by Enkidu. Like, if you're gonna be countered by something, this is a pretty decent thing to be countered by. Well, no, she lived though. How about that, boys? I mean, she's probably dead next turn because, you know, she's stunned and she can't do anything, but, she just hung in there. I believe now is the end, though. Yep. Didn't even need the extra attack. Good try, kiddo! What's sad is we had our NP again, so... And that's with her not attacking us because she was stunned, and we got our NP again. And people say his NP gain is bad. I just don't even... What do you mean you don't get your NP back from using your NP? Garbage. Wait, what am I doing? That's not a wanted quest. Yeah, we don't even need that one. Where are the other wanted quests? Where did we go? Is one here? No? I bought some, didn't I? Oh, they're all here. Okay. We're about to the point, though, where we're gonna have to farm to get more hair. That's a sentence. We'll bring our Toria, though. That generally gets the job done. Hell, my ult account can slaughter a Toria with the Vince CE. Give myself FP. You know, I would like a Pro ZD PogChamp. I think that would be really good. There was like that video where he was making fun of people, you know, saying, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, right? You could totally use that as like PogChamp or something. There's plenty of options. I think that would be amazing. Alright, let's just do these. They're getting higher level though. Gotta start taking these like, kind of seriously. You know, I do kind of want to use Tesla. Let me finally give him the fucking buff success chance. Like, he gets a lot of use out of that. What card would you want it on, though? Either Buster or Art. Yeah, I think, as Ari just said, that it's too, like, up in the air, and it's so apples and oranges and context and blah, 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 blah. But I do think Scath is... I think Scath and Brunhilde are both just excellent. They're both fantastic. Very applicable. So many people act like Scath is kind of whatever because, oh, she's not good without her third skill. That's a lie. Like, she is totally fine without her third skill, and then she's just disgusting with her third skill. And her third skill is applicable quite often. And, like, her third skill is so good that she can basically be used as a counterclass to something she's not counterclassing. And there are more enemies with Divinity than there are just archers. But you might be, oh, you might fight an archer and they don't have divinity. Well, then you don't care because you're counterclassing anyway, right? So it's like, she's super effective in so many circumstances. Okay, let me, I'm guessing 100 face has my buff success chance. No, I guess no one has my buff success chance right now. Alright, just slap it on Tesla then. Yeah, I guess I'll put it on Buster for now. I feel like it's generally, you know, Buster is one of the best first cards you can pick, so it's really easy to work it into a chain. Alright, I'm literally just gonna give him 2 command codes because I just can't be bothered to switch command codes a lot. I kind of want to change the enemy class, so I'm not counterclassing, because I may make it too easy, but we'll see what, I mean, odds are they're going to have a gimmick where I'm going to have to remove the gimmick anyway, so. Although it'd be funny if it was use your NP to remove it, and then you just try to win with normal cards, that'd be kind of fun. Dude, Moriarty is in so many events, dude. He's like, and he's in so many challenge quests. Like, he's in so many challenge quests. I actually think Moriarty should be in a Lost Belt, though. They've hinted at it, and I think it's going to be disappointing if he's not. I think if all of his, like, stuff with Sherlock just keeps happening outside of the main story, like just in interludes and events and stuff, that's kind of dumb. It's like them being cowards, and they do that with several things. That's why, like, the 0.5 events are always not really that important, because they're always, like, side stuff. Alright, I don't really care if we turn... Oh, hey, she only has 1 health bar. What a scrub. Okay, what the hell is this one? Although I almost want to not know and just have it, you know, see if it just happens randomly. I'm gonna guess crit. I'm just gonna guess crit because it just seems like something they would do. Yeah, her not having a break bar is really dooming her here. If I got my NP, she is so dead. She better switch classes before I get my NP, otherwise she's in a bad way. If I'd use my first skill, Tesla would have his NP right now. Wow, I like how I have not gotten the 1 card that has my buff success chance on it. That's unfortunate. If I want to bust out my skill next turn, I won't necessarily get the buff. Oh, whatever it was, we did it. Did I crit that turn? I wasn't paying attention. Huh, whenever you activate it, she gets a poison off automatically. That's kind of interesting. She didn't kill... Oh my god, it's because her class changed. Her class changed, so she did, like, terrible damage to Qin Gong. You kill in the game. Hey, look, I got my thing. I should NP here because I have Buster Chain, but I'm just going to not do that and pretend that... Oh no, I didn't get my NP in time. Oh, drat. No crits? Huh. Wonder what it was then. I kind of want to reset and let people look at the text there, because I'm curious now. Yeah, it could be offensive debuff or crit down specifically, things like that. She just fucking NP drained me. And then did not give me my NP back. So close though. Alright, let's oh wait, let me just reset. I want to see. Besides, I want to bring not Qin Gong because he doesn't die because of the thing, so. And I want to be able to read what the debuff thing was. You know what? I'm gonna BRB like 5 seconds. I need some bloody lemonade. That's random as hell, but I'm like, I could use some lemonade right now. I'm gonna give me some of that. good stuff, man. I like me sour stuff. I definitely prefer sour to sweet, very much in that camp. And we have an absolutely terrible opening hand. It's actually so bad, I kind of just want to use Tesla's third skill. You know what? I'm doing it. Fuck it. Don't wait. That's right. He makes stars. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I mean, it's not the biggest mistake I've ever made. Like, it's still good in that I get it on cooldown right away, and then I'll use Atlas and get it back. But overall, probably would have preferred the stars later. I truly do not mind sweet stuff. I don't like stuff that's super sweet, right? It needs to like complement something else, right? Where America is obsessed with just like slathering sweet stuff on everything into like, which is ridiculous. Where if they would just, oh yeah, let me bring up the thing here. But yeah, when it's used well, I have no problem with sweet stuff. Sweet stuff can be good, like for sure. But I'm such a fan of sour. I mean, this is obviously not worthy of playing any dramatic music, for God's sakes. Alright, anybody got any idea? Same gimmick as Abby, it's offensive debuff. So I guess attack down, crit down, stuff like that. So I guess hers was defensive. So hers was probably, yeah, like, what else would be defensive though? I guess, no, MP down would be here. I guess Buster resist down, art resist down, quick resist down, defense down, stuff like that. Although I gotta say that actually is kind of bad for her because I don't think Tesla can do that. I don't think there's any way. That means she's just gonna be a Saber the whole time. So I probably should have brought Shin-Gong to just make the fight harder. Because this is going to be a shit show now, but oh well! So I would NP, but I might stun her and then she wouldn't kill Leonidas and I would just be annoyed at that point. Do I save my Merlin command code? Just for fun, let's save it. See if we can like loop. See, Tesla's, isn't it just stun chance? Let me check. Wait, no, his stun chance is set. That's right, it's like, it's just part of the MP. Dude, I just googled FGO Tesla and it took me to the skill Tesla coil on Tesla instead of Tesla. Okay, yeah, his, oh right, how did I forget that? Of course, his overcharge is the bonus damage to Earth and Sky. Which, thankfully there's a lot of enemies that are Earth or Sky, so. By the way, that represents like his anti-god attitude, because Earth is like, legends that aren't real. It's like not historically accurate legends, right? It's things like, you know, Achilles didn't actually exist and stuff like that. And then Sky is generally things that are divine, right? So, that's his whole thing is, you know, none of that supernatural nonsense. Let's get down to some science here. But yeah, he has no debuffs of any kind, so there's no way for him. I'm actually sad, because this is going to be so easy if he's counterclassing. Whoa, what am I doing? I just got rid of my buff success chance. Oh my god, I blame not looking at the game. Oh, never mind, we landed all the buffs anyway. It's fine, it doesn't even matter. We're just showing off right now. Yeah, I forgot I'd cast it last turn. I kind of lost track of where I was there. I don't think every divine enemy is Sky. Like, you might, some of the outer god ones maybe aren't. I've never actually paid attention though, to be honest. Yeah, see, that's the one good thing about using my third skill so early. That's almost back already. Although if I hadn't used it, I could have just used it now, but I wouldn't quite gone around the loop. If I hadn't stunned her, I would have. So it actually would have been better if I hadn't stunned her there. Negative character development, I see how it is. That's rude, sir. That's such a shame, though. We're never gonna activate the thing. How much faith do I have that I'm gonna stun her? I mean, it's more likely not to stun her than it will, but I still have guts. We could be dangerous just cause. We'll play on the edge here. Because even if she like doesn't get stunned and kills us here, we'll just cast Invulnerability next turn and then guts again, and then it won't matter. It doesn't even matter if he deaths us. Like if you death somebody and they have guts, it just procs the guts, so it's no different than getting killed by an NP. It's like guts is really good or something. See, now we kind of made it worse on ourselves because I mean it doesn't really matter because now the fight's over. I did it again. And that one's because it's piercing vulnerability. It's fine, I just land all the buffs again, no problem. Actually, I didn't land the NP up, but we don't need the NP up. How did I make that mistake twice, by the way? It truly does not matter, though. Like, we're clearly gonna win before that. It's just so... I cannot... Here's the thing. I'm so sure a lot of people make this mistake. And most people just don't even use that command code, right? Because they don't use units that need it. And it really is stupid that the game eats your buff success chance command code on a buff that can't fail, right? Like, I cannot be the only person to think that that's really stupid. Like, it literally, you can use like the most mundane buff and it'll use it up anyway. Like, it's completely ridiculous. I should have saved my my debuff clear, but I don't think it's going to matter. Like, it'll use it on other command codes, right? You could do, like, you could do the buff success chance up, and then do, like, anti-stun. And that would eat up the buff success chance. It's crazy. Yeah, one turn instead of one time would have been a lot better. I don't think they even thought about it, to be honest. They probably didn't realize that it would even work that way. They probably would have made it one turn, otherwise. That Rue Feels is quite sad. I still miss like the really old Rue Feels. There was like that really old one that was like super fucking sad, man. It had like all the shading on it. Wait, how did I win that many missions? What? I will say the missions in this are so easy to progress on. The only thing that can trip you up is doing, you know, like each planet 5 times. You kind of miss those, but other than that, it's pretty easy. What shall we use? Everybody got event CEs right now. I use my ult accounts, Brunhilde. I've barely been using her at all. Does not have command codes, but oh well. Get some vanilla gameplay in here. What does she want? I guess we'll go with Burst. Try to end this quick. That's how Berserkers be. Buff success up procs when you use another skill that goes buff success up. Yeah, that's about right. And before enemies Ziggurat, lol. You fought him earlier, so I doubt he would have a wanted quest because he was in the main story. Oh. Stilts. The theme seems to be debuffs. I'm trying to think what other debuffs it could be. Terrible opening hand. That one is crit? Okay, well, it's just a matter of time before that happens. Although we don't really care for class changes. I would just prefer it to change after Leonidas dies, so he's, you know, more likely to get one shot. This is an awkward turn. I wonder if I use her... Yeah, I think I gotta use her battery. This should get the job done. You've already cast that. I don't want to crit yet. We want to crit preferably. I almost want to not take that 70%. Although wait, no, I don't care if I... What am I talking about? I don't care for class changes. What is wrong with me? Yeah, we do that. We'll go for the big crits on the next health bar, though. You know what? That's kind of bullshit. Just get one turned forehand. Well, I like how we had damage cut and 2-hit evade, and she didn't even crit us, but she did Buster with Buster up or something, and that was that. Okay. I kind of want to use someone that absolutely has to crit. I'd say Billy, but Billy's an event servant, which makes it less good. Like, I want someone that's very crit-based. And then doesn't want them to necessarily switch class. I'll try Billy, but I feel like, I mean, Mori can't solo worth a fuck. And Mori doesn't even crit in a solo because he doesn't make stars. I don't know why people constantly ask me to solo with Mori. I think people fundamentally do not understand how he works as a unit. I love relogging and then not showing up on support lists. Great. Like, he's not even fun in a solo, and I'm still not showing up. Like units like him are just, they're not only do they not work in a solo or last man stand, they're not fun to use. The whole reason they're fun is because of like how they work, you know, in combination with other units. Like, that's like the whole point that makes them, you know, interesting. And a solo, they just sit there and it's like Chin Gong in a solo is not fun because he doesn't do anything. It's like, that's not entertaining, that's just doing normal cards over and over again. But I know several people that know Japanese, and all of them don't like kanji. I know people that were born in Japan and they don't like kanji. It seems to be the reoccurring theme. It's kind of amazing because I know a bunch of people that know Japanese, and my sister is fluent in Japanese, and I have no problem with my sister. We get along just fine. But I just forget that she's fluent in Japanese all of the time, and anytime I need something translated, I almost never ask her. Just because I forget, which makes absolutely no sense, but it is what it is. I almost want to NP right now. It's weird. Even though I don't have very many Billy cards, I actually think that's the right thing to do. Because yeah, after Leonidas dies, we're gonna be so far along in. Why does she have what is giving her this? Huh? wonder if it's when she kills someone or something. Oh my god, Billy already broke. And then there's the crit though. Well, there goes Billy's damage. Why did you... He just crit with a 10% chance, by the way. Hey, I like the 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the freaking 30-month resub. Man, that's a long time, dude. I really appreciate it, though. Alright, well, no crits for us. Well, actually, we crit. No more bonus damage for us, excuse me. I was expecting Billy to lose his damage at some point. Not quite that soon, though. Her hit count is pretty high, so I'll do this. I wish we were not a bonus servant. So much do I wish we were not a bonus servant. This would actually be fun now. But, like, she had like 280k or whatever. But it's more like she has like 150 or some crap. I don't remember how much bonus damage she gets. I think it might be 50%. I'm not sure. But, yeah, not so great. Do I use evade? No, I mean, she shouldn't one-shot me. She doesn't have her buffs anymore. Wait, what if she evades at low health? If she evades at low health, I should not NP until next turn. Then why did I just use my attack up? Because you're stupid, that's why. I do think we don't use our NP here, and then we use it on the next one. The attack up won't be wasted if I crit, and we got a 40 to 50%, so we're actually favored to get at least one crit. Of course not! Of course not! Why would, Oh, that's right, her evade is one hit, because she's, shit like that. I think we may have just thrown, because we did not crit there. God damn it, Billy. You could, maybe he'll crit here, although we don't have the giant crit buff anymore, or the attack up anymore. I think we're dead now. We're gonna be pretty close, but I don't think we're gonna. Well, we got completely bailed out by being a bonus servant. Like I think he absolutely can win that without being a bonus servant, but you can't play like shit like that. You need to use your attack up when it makes sense. You need to use your crit up after doing quick, right? Those things, no dumb value. I did not deserve that in the slightest, but thankfully Billy got a strong peacekeeper there. Okay, I think we've done all the side stuff really. We need to do these free quests. They're boring, but if we do like each of them 5 times, we'll get the missions done, and then we'll get probably enough hairs to move on. We'll summon Garbage Artoria here just to get the hair bonus. We'll do Karna. I just bring 3 DPS with this account. I'm not sure though. Let's see. What do I got? Do that instead. I want to say they drop bronze mats here. Maybe I should work on a bronze drop boost though. I should see what they drop first before we do anything stupid. We mainly want the hair drops. I know a lot of people that they learn the Japanese language, like the spoken language, and they just never bother with kanji and everything. Which I guess fair enough. If you want to do it as like a side thing, that's probably good enough. If it's not something you're trying to like get really hardcore into, and it probably makes sense. I'm so glad here in the States we basically eliminated cursive, and it's basically gone. They don't teach it in school anymore, and it's pretty much out of here. But I have to imagine a cursive would be pretty annoying to people that are not native English speakers, because it's just another way to write that doesn't even have very defined rules, right? Like, cursive is dumb. I'm so glad it's gone. Well, it's not gone yet, but it's about gone. And there's like 2 or 3 reasons I'd say it's going the way of the dodo. Like, one, things are so digital now. I mean, oh my god, the world is just so digital now. And there is literally no reason. It is such a pointless thing in the digital realm, right? Because you click button, thing appear, right? So why, the whole point of cursive is like the speed of writing, which is like the main point of it. It doesn't take as long to write each letter. But that's irrelevant in a digital setting. And then it is pretty, you know, vague and dumb, so... Yeah, it's even in like a professional setting, it's so normal for people to not be able to read other people's cursive, right? It's just doesn't work very well. So if there's legitimately anyone here that does not know what cursive is, and I guess that might be pretty normal if you're not from like a native English-speaking country, it is basically how do I describe this without making it sound completely ridiculous? It's a way of writing that is like faster. And it's like very curvy. It's like, it's basically take every letter in the alphabet and make it more curvy so you can kind of just flow from one to the other. And all the letters are connected. It's basically designed to never pick the pen up. That's the best way to describe it. You never lift the pen or pencil up off the paper. You just keep going from one letter to another. So it's designed to kind of like just loop into each letter. But you might say that sounds really stupid and it would result in a lot of, you know, letters not looking the same, and you are correct, and that is exactly what it does. And none of the letters, there's no, oh, you write an E this exact way in cursive, right? No, it's based on like how you get to it from another letter, and then people just do it differently because handwriting, it's shit. It's so shit. But yeah, it's basically designed so you never have to leave the pen from the paper and you can keep writing quickly. And legitimately, if you are very good at cursive, you can write holy shit quickly, right? Like you're not held back much by, you know, the physicality of it, but it looks terrible. Everyone's cursive looks massively different from each other, and it's so easy for it to be sloppy and incoherent. And yeah, but thankfully it's pretty much gone now. They used to teach it in schools, but they don't anymore because almost no one uses it. And you know, the internet and digital stuff and phones and all that, none of those things use it either, so it's pretty much gone. But there's still some old timers out there that still use it because they were really used to it. I mean, I feel like it's hard enough for people to be able to read each other's handwriting, regular handwriting, let alone cursive, so... And what I do, and some of this is because I learned to write so late in life, because, you know, awesome education. You know, 10 out of 10 parenting. Anyway, part of this is just because I learned writing so late in my life, but it also is just really practical, and it's something my father did, and he passed it on to me. It's because it's just the clearest way of communicating through writing, is you write everything uppercase, but you make things capital or not capital by size. So if you're writing in uppercase, you still write the letters, you know, pretty small. But uppercase is just way more neat, because if you look at uppercase letters, they're pretty much all straight lines. Right? Like there's no dots and squiggles and shit. Uppercase is just lines, with a few exceptions like S and U and stuff. But even those stuff, it's still very straightforward, right? So uppercase is, and that's what they do with like blueprints. When you're writing a blueprint, you always will write it all in uppercase because you want to make sure someone doesn't read it wrong. And I also find it faster because it is just straight lines and, you know, really simple stuff. It's a lot quicker to do, right? There's like for example, if you try to write like a lowercase e and it's in a pretty small area and stuff, you can easily have parts of it get like fused together and it looks like a C and crap like that, right? There is literally nothing else that looks like a C in uppercase, right? Because an E doesn't look like that anymore, right? And there's just a lot of stuff in lowercase where if you're in like small area and stuff like that, and it gets a little sloppy, it can be hard to tell, wait, what is that? Where with uppercase, that's really never a problem. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, I never had amazing penmanship to begin with because, like I said, I learned to read and write so late in my life that my penmanship was kind of meh. But writing that way makes my penmanship look completely readable, right? And it's not very noticeable. Because again, it's just fucking straight lines and, you know, really simple stuff, so it's really easy to write that way. You just have to get used to writing the uppercase letters smaller right? And then when you capitalize them, you make them bigger, right? That's like literally the only thing to learn, and that's nothing. So I'm gonna use Karna's NP just because it looks cool. Yeah, here's an example. If you look at in uppercase, there's no way you're gonna get that confused with a U. Where in lowercase you might, right? And there's several other ones like that. But if you look at an uppercase in, there's no way you're getting that confused with anything, right? Because it's 3 straight lines, right? It's so much simpler. Although, man, I just realized I haven't written anything physically in a long time because everything is digital. Yeah, imagine, seriously, imagine on a blueprint, right, for building a bridge or something, and then someone gets, you know, N and U confused, or C and E, or like, you can't have that. Okay, so I gotta do this 4 more times. I don't want to go into too much autopilot here. I've never been tested, but I have always thought I'm mildly dyslexic, and several people in my family have thought the same thing, because I definitely sometimes have problems with like reading things backwards and things like that, but it's not very bad for me. And again, I've never been tested, so I don't know. But my father suspected I was, and I've just noticed sometimes I'll like if someone will tell me like a total in money, I'll write it down backwards. Like I do that so often, and things like that. But if I do have it, it's very mild, and it's never like a problem for me. If I just pay attention for a second, it won't be a big deal. And like I said, I've never been tested, so I don't know. How is Karna Saber? Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's not like the best 4-star Saber by any means, but he's got good damage and he has enough survivability to like just deal with an enemy's NP and stuff like that. But he's not breaking the mold or anything. He's not like, oh my god, he's just doing so much damage and he's so tanky. Like, nothing like that. He's just nice, well-rounded Saber, right? If you need a decent Saber to help you out, he will get the job done. But for example, let's say you've got like a Bedivere already maxed out. It's not like, oh my god, you're just gonna totally replace that Bedivere with Karna. Not really, right? Like, but he's good. He absolutely gets the job done for what you need a DPS Saber to do, which is good for a welfare, right? He's just very easy to be applicable in almost any circumstance. And if you have multiple Sabers, he'll you know, play nice. It's not like he's a super selfish unit or anything, so it all works out pretty well. You people in your no capital letters in your names, and then multiple words. Why you do this? But yeah, the eradication of cursive is it makes me very happy, because I remember when I was young and when I remember learning what cursive was, I remember immediately thinking that is really illogical and stupid, and I really dislike that our language is like this. And then so it has been very satisfying for it to like disappear. CL. I like how we have 3 kings. I think we only have 2 L's, but we actually might have 3. Reading is actually like my favorite form of like absorbing a story or information or something, but it's so hard for me to find books and stuff that I like. But I love reading. When I do get something that I enjoy, it's really nice. But it's yeah, it's rare, man. I think these are dropping bronze mats. I literally haven't been paying attention. I probably should bring a bonus bronze drop. Oh, it's a little late now. We're already so far in. I will say, I don't mind this event though, gameplay-wise. You know, thematically, I'm not a fan of it. The story, I'm not a fan of. And the challenge quest at the end is truly poorly done, which is a waste too. It sucks that it was done so poorly because the gimmicks are actually some interesting ideas, but the implementation has been terrible, and just the math on it is wrong, right? Because if you get the worst RNG possible, the value, because ultimately, like, what is called for in a challenge quest, right, is like you need a certain amount of damage and a certain amount of survivability to get that damage through, right? Like, you just need a certain amount of total damage over a certain number of turns. But if you get the maximum bad RNG that you can get there, the amount of damage coming your way, you know, versus what is called from you to do is basically impossible. And that's why people try so hard to cheese it and beat it very quickly, because the quicker you beat it, the less RNG that can be there, right? Like, if you bring the best supports ever and whatnot, you can lower the amount of, like, gimmicks you have to interact with. Like, some of the RNG elements to some of the gimmicks there were just a terrible idea, especially when you're combining it with the amount of health and gimmicks and, you know, the pierce invulnerability and buff removal and everything that's there. It's just dumb, right? Where I feel like if they had kind of tuned the stats better, it'd be more reasonable to, like, weather the storm if something went really bad, right? And so that's where they messed up. And that's where normally when they mess up a challenge quest, that's normally the problem. Where it's like, okay, if you don't get really lucky, what is demanded of you is basically unreasonable now, unless you're using really broken support. It's not the gimmicks necessarily being bad, it's just the math. There's way too many challenge quests to make a tier list of, like, how... And besides, I mean, I guess it's the point, like, if you want someone's subjective view on things, that's the point of it. Because it'd be super subjective, like, how good or unfun different challenge quests are, but I guess that is the point of the shtick. Well, this is a terrible hand. I should probably switch Chin out for just some other bruiser. We're just normal card spamming, really. But if you're normal card spamming, Chin Gong is pointless, because he's just putting bad things in the deck. I'm not paying enough attention to even click his Buster up. We win this turn. How much damage is Herc gonna do here? Man, never mind, we didn't win there. If he had crit, we would have, or still a little bit more damage. Well, that was disappointing. Well, you know what that means, guys. Herc needs another buff. They actually used this boss theme also for the flamethrower, like, boss. There was, like, the one where, like, the bugs come out of the thing and, like, circle around you, right? And there was the one where there's, like, that... If I remember correctly, the lore behind that flamethrower boss was, like, it was basically there to keep that bug hive in check, so it never, like, overgrew or something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, both bug-related, like, control machines or whatever. This is where I wish I had Bedivere. Honestly, this is probably fine. Oh, team cost though. Oh, I should put a Rosh on the team anyway. He needs Bond. Okay, I gotta do this time and then one more reset and then we're done with this one. I wouldn't mind streaming Metroid Prime 1 someday. It's one of my favorite games. I think it's aged just fine. Like, I think it's aged totally fine. And I figure a lot of people nowadays have never played it. And I like the original so much more than, like, all the future Metroid games Steve made. I'll play Ninja Gaiden again soon, honestly. The main reason I haven't played it is just because of the sleep apnea. I want to make sure I'm, you know, able to focus on it good. I'm really not. I wasn't excited for Metroid Prime 4 to begin with, to be honest, because I liked Metroid Prime 1, and then I didn't mind 2, but I definitely think it was a step down. And then I really didn't care for 3 that much either. So it's like, I mean, the series has always just gone downhill for me. And then, basically, the more Nintendo got involved with it, I think the less good it was, right? Because Nintendo had basically abandoned Metroid, and the original creator had died, and it was never that popular in Japan. Like, Metroid was, even the 2D ones, like way back in the day, those were never popular in Japan. They were mostly just popular in North America. And so Japan just didn't really care about it, and like the main creator had passed away and stuff, and they basically just passed it off to Retro Studios, which is actually an NA studio, and they didn't really care about it very much. But then it did really well with Retro Studio, and then Nintendo got way more involved again, and they're like, oh, because now it's successful, you know. Then they started like putting their nose in the business again, and I think ever since then, the series has just gotten worse and worse and worse. I think what the original Retro Studios did with Metroid Prime 1 was really good. But like the Retro Studios that exist now, it barely has any of the original team members in it anyway. They're a Retro Studio name only, really. Yeah, there's a few people still involved, but so it's like, what was so cool about that original stuff that it just doesn't really exist anymore? And I feel like all the changes Nintendo made to like the character and the story and everything, and the gameplay, I don't think it's good. So sure, you know, I'll keep an open mind, and maybe Metroid Prime 4 is really good and shapes things up again. But I have literally no reason to have that expectation of it, because literally ever since Metroid Prime 1, they would just slowly been making the series worse and worse and worse, so I would expect them to just continue that trend, and I think it would at least be better than Other M, right? I'll give them that, because Other M was so bad, it's like, it's kind of a low bar, but they could probably at least beat that. It's like even when they did the trilogy, and so they remade Metroid Prime 1, I think they made it worse. Like the aesthetical changes, so like some of the character designs and the environments were worse. They changed a lot of the story, like in the log books and stuff that you read, and like all the changes they made, I was just like, this is lame. Like everything they made worse. So the only good thing I can say about the trilogy re-release was that, if I remember correctly, they added a new melee attack to Meta Ridley, which made him a little bit harder, and that was kind of cool, but it didn't matter that much, but that was kind of neat. But other than that, I don't remember any positive changes. Okay, I gotta do it one more time, I'm pretty sure, and then we're good to go. And I will say, Other M doesn't even have that bad of gameplay. That's not really the problem with it. The gameplay's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Like, the core combat, anyway, is okay. The level design is terrible, and, like, their use of, like, trying to be a Metroid game is just kind of pathetic. But the story and, the structure of it is just abysmal. Like, you know, its environments aren't done particularly well, and the story is just laughable and, like, insulting. But the core combat's alright, but that's because they got Team Ninja to do the combat, and they did a fine job. But people try to blame Team Ninja for the bad story and everything, but they literally had nothing to do with it. It was all Nintendo. Nintendo actually was super involved with doing the story and Other M and everything, where they hadn't been as much with Metroid Prime, and it's just awful. Like, everyone blamed Team Ninja for making the story bad, but they had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I remember the original theme like loops too much or something like that. The song like repeats when it's not supposed to or something. It's been a long time since I played it though. Yeah, I like some of the 2D Metroid games and some of the older ones. And then I like Metroid Prime 1, the original specifically. And then almost everything else from Metroid I do not care for. And I think it's handled very poorly. Wow, we got a little bit of Buster down on Lantoria there. Can she kill one? Yep, okay, that's close though. Well, this hand is kind of disappointing. But this happens a lot with long-running franchises. When big corporations are involved, they generally just try to milk them and run them into the ground. And sooner or later, it's going to get into the hands of people that don't really care or understand it, and they're just trying to use it superficially to make a buck. That pretty much always happens. So like the longer an IP goes, almost the more destined it is to go to shit. Now sometimes they can reboot and revitalize and get back on track, like sure, but it's very common for IPs to just eventually get run into the ground and then suck. I mean, there was nothing to fix. It was just overtuned. It's not like they're gonna nerf it. But I don't think it's even unlocked yet, so I don't think anyone can do it yet. I'm not sure though. I don't remember how much of this is time gated or not. But normally the challenge quest is normally time gated. It's gonna be way easier this time if you're not. Like, it's not gonna be much easier if you're handicapping yourself. But if you're not handicapping yourself, there's just so many new servants that will make it a lot easier. Yeah, I wouldn't really call Fusion a horror game. It just kind of has a you know, a creepy and hostile environment aesthetic in general, but it's not really a horror game. Like, it's more like you're just in a messed up environment, right? That's very hostile to you. That's pretty much what it is. Alright, how many of the hair thingies do we got? We got 800. We need 700 for that, and then you're certainly going to need more from these. So yeah, I should probably keep bringing bonus drops for that. My god, you need a lot of that stuff. I guess I'll just keep summoning Artoria, and we'll just put her in the back here. Oh wait, that's already what I'm doing. Excuse me. I guess we just do that. I don't change anything. Autopilot, let's go. I don't know, SMT's had some real shit show stuff too. Oh my god, what was that one game series? Oh, what was it? It's like, it's really old now. It's like Parasite Eve or something? Holy shit, that, I never even played into those, but I've like watched a lot of videos and like looked at the different games in the series and like what happened to it as it evolved. Or devolved, really. Oh my god, that IP got super bastardized. And that one never lived very long to begin with, right? That's not like some super long-running IP like Metroid or Star Wars or Warcraft or, you know, Warhammer or something like that. But it died super fast. I think we will get a Saber Wars 3 eventually. I mean, they've hinted at that since forever. You know, they had like a ending there that was like begging the question. But there's no telling when it could be. It might not be until October again, right? Like, there's just no telling when they would do it again. I almost think though, because they're doing Saber Wars Rerun, they won't want to do a third Saber Wars for a little while. They wouldn't want people like, oh god, this again, right? But who knows? Maybe it's coming up soon. You never know with these things. But if they had Saber Wars 3, that would be another chance for Billy animation update, and then we'd probably get that other gunslinger, so that'd be nice. I really hope that's not a gender bend, because there are other female gunslingers that they could use, but it probably is a gender bend, because this is Fate we're talking about. And for some reason, they would rather gender bend a, you know, a male figure instead of using a legitimate female one, and then they just never use a lot of like cool legitimate female figures in history and legend and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like, I just do not understand that. Like, I truly do not understand that. Like with Drake, right? Drake is a cool character and everything, but it's like there are plenty of real female pirates that were badasses, so it's like, why didn't we just use one of those? Like, I literally do not understand the reasoning there. And like, I swear sometimes they're just like going for the shock value or something. Like, I swear, instead of like using Lagartha or something from like Norse stuff, they would just pick another Norse person that's a dude instead and gender bend them. And it's like, why though? Well, you gotta remember, FGO just does not give a fuck about, North American stuff. It's just obvious. I mean, they just do not give a fuck, so... Well, I'm not surprised Billy hasn't gotten an animation update yet. Oh, hey, look, we leveled. Wait, I just saw a 5 out of 5. Surely I haven't done this stage 5 times, though, so I don't know what that was. We kill 5 of a certain enemy or something. Yeah, that was the first time I cleared it, so it's not that one. And like, you know, there are some areas where, like, if you want a certain archetype, you're not gonna have anyone from actual legend or history that's female that might fit that archetype. So, you know, although I still don't necessarily agree with it, it's still something you can kind of justify and get away with in certain areas, you know? But a lot of times they literally will already have females in that, you know, area for that kind of archetype that they're going for that they could have used, and they just don't. It's not nearly as bad with Artoria because they put so much more effort into Artoria's character than they do the other gender bins. It's not like, oh lol, they just happen to be a woman because fuck you. But they actually did a whole thing with it, and it's actually a different person with their own name and blah 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 blah. And then we still have regular Arthur. Right? If we didn't have regular Arthur, it'd be a lot more annoying. Like, Artoria is so unoffensive in any way because they have regular Arthur, and she's not just a lazy, you know, oh, it's now boobs, right? They didn't do that. They didn't just slap boobs on Arthur. They, you know, actually made their own character that, you know, kind of actually plays off of their own history and everything. So that works, right? And so if they did that with all the other ones, it wouldn't even bother me. But they don't do that. Almost never do they do that. They almost always say that there is, like, you know, with Musashi and Paul and stuff, they say there is, like, a, you know, a male version, but they just never use them. You know, it's like a get out of jail free card that they use, but then they don't actually capitalize on it, so... I think they're gonna actually I think they will at least once make a female person male, and they may have already done that in Face Strange Fake, but we're not really sure yet. But they may have actually done it all that. But that's not even a joke. That's actually like actual part of the story. But I think as a joke, at some point they're going to do it. Probably only like once. I don't think it's not going to be even remotely common. They've mentioned the male Musashi so many times. They even mentioned him again recently, I think in Muramasa's lines. So it's like... They might do it. They might. There's been plenty of demand for it, so they might. I don't know. I think because of the whole data loss situation, I think a lot of people would be annoyed if they did it. Well, they shouldn't be, and that's stupid, and you should never pander to that kind of thing. But I do kind of think people would be kind of, at this point, be kind of annoyed if they brought in regular Musashi, because they would view it as replacing the other Musashi, and that would make some people mad. I mean, Heracles is not female, no, so I don't know what you're on about on that one. Yeah, I guess red hair is technically originally female, isn't it? So that kind of counts. Only kind of, though, because it's, there are a lot more significant liberties being taken there than that. Because red hair's not normally, you know, like a centaur monster thing. I'm not even sure what to call red hair, to be honest. I like how, like, one of the first lines for Calamity Jane is saying her normal, like, pan history self is a badass. And they'll be like, but you're never going to get that. AAA, by the way. Alright, I think that was the 4th time I've done this stage, I think. So I gotta do it one more time. Or I could just check the top screen, that would tell me. Oh wait, I don't think there is a thing to do this stage 5 times. Fuck. Most of these do have one, but this one's not ticking anything. Either that or I just haven't unlocked the mission, so I might be getting credit for it anyway. But I should have been counting then. I think this one does have one. Well, it's fine to do this stage anyway because I have missions for it, so it's not a big deal. And if I haven't unlocked the mission yet, or if there ultimately is no mission, then fuck it. See us all. It'd be nice if, like with Calamity Jane, you would at least make one of the Ascension stages like a nod to their regular history self. You don't have to have them actually act like the regular history self. It's almost like how regular Ku has a Proto-Ku costume in Extella Link, right? Like doing, because Ascension stages let you do that kind of thing. It doesn't matter if it's like off canon and stuff because you have multiple stages and they already do stuff like that. So that would be a really good way of addressing that stuff, but they don't bother. Especially with the lower stars, because they don't want to put in that kind of work, so. But yeah, if just one of Calamity Jane's Ascensions had her use like a normal gun and have a slightly more normal look, that would have been really nice. But, you can't have nice things. But my shooting rainbow lasers... Yeah, but those are an exception, not the rule. That's the thing. And exceptions prove the rule. That's kind of the point. Although when it comes to waiver and everything, I would like to point out they are so inconsistent right now when it comes to like the servants fusing with their host and stuff. They're literally just completely inconsistent and random about it. Like there is no logic to it at all. It's like some of the characters are like almost entirely the person that's possessing them. And sometimes they're mostly the host, and sometimes they're like a mix of the two. But then like Waver is just Waver. Like literally the servant is like, yeah, I'll let Waver drive the vehicle, and I'll just let him use my powers. That's it. And then you have Muramasa where it's like 80% Muramasa, right? There's no consistency to it, and it's kind of weird because it ends up it's like if your favorite character gets added, it's almost like, oh hey, CE drop that we probably don't need. But anyway, it's almost like flip a coin and see how it works out for you. That's why I'm worried if they ever add Bazette that she's just gonna end up with some wacky thing that has nothing to do with Bazette, and like who cares? The team-wide one is actually better than the single target one, but you get 5 copies of it from the missions if I remember correctly. I think you do. I'm gonna do this one more time, and that's certainly 5, and we had one more mission to do for like the side mob anyway. I'm a big advocate though for like using your 3 Ascension stages well to give people variety and options, right? Just like give Odysseus one stage that's a bit more normal. Just like, it's weird too because sometimes they do that. Like with Romulus, they did that, right? And so it's just weird to me that it's just obvious to do that. At least do one stage to kind of, make it more what some people are going to prefer, right? Especially when there's, canon reasons to do it. But I think a lot of times they're just being lazy because money and whatnot. They'll probably add more 3 Kingdom servants though because it's such a popular thing in China, and the game has gotten a lot bigger in China as the years have gone on, so it would behoove them financially to do it. And we'll probably get another version of Lu Bu too, I would think. Which I'm actually totally game for. Lu Bu's kind of interesting anyway, and it'd be really cool to see him sane and backstabby. Probably should have used Ku's attack buff, but whatever. Yep, he would have killed him. He would have killed Paris right there, then we would have killed the pig and we'd be done. I'd imagine Aniplex is the one that pays them, but they probably budgeted into like the budget for DW, I would think. But it could also be Type Moon, actually. That's a good point, because Type Moon, we know this for a fact. So first off, in their contract, Type Moon holds all rights to all characters that they create or other people create for FGO. So if they make a character for FGO, Type Moon owns all the rights to that character, and they can go put it in a manga or a book or whatever they don't need permission. And we already know that they advise a lot of the artists and kind of tell them what they want to do, you know, if they're outlined of what they want to be made and that kind of thing, and there's like some back and forth. So it could just be Type Moon. It could be part of the deal that they have. But it's hard to say because there's all kinds of deals where you have like one company owns the rights like that, but another company subsidizes the cost of things and stuff. So I mean, really, there's almost no way to know because we just do not know what the contract is for FGO. It's certainly a mess though because there's so many parties involved that certainly the contract is a shit show. But we know Type Moon interacts with the artists a lot, and they've picked the artists a lot of the time and stuff. So you kind of expect them to pay for it as well. But I mean, who fucking knows? Alright, what do I even have left here? Okay, that is for Liz. That's for Liz, and that's probably the other wanted quest. And I don't know what the hell this is. You need 40 though, Jesus. Alright, we should probably do the main story now. That'll probably unlock more missions. And I'm pretty sure we haven't done... Yeah, I don't remember this... I knew there were other like wanted quests that had like pictures and not like just generic, but I didn't specifically remember a Hijikata one. But that tells me it probably wasn't all that memorable. I think the Liz one was the only one that was all that memorable. But who knows? We'll bring Billy, why not? These most of these main stories aren't too... They get harder as they go though. And if I remember correctly, the final fight with Space Ishtar, if you don't use event bonus CEs, is actually pretty decent. Let's not use bonus CEs for this, actually. Most of the main story just doesn't call for it. Let's do 20-30 on David. Get some stars going. I guess Atalante needs Bond, so... Actually, it's really not ambiguous if Kojiro existed. There's no evidence that he existed, and there's a lot of evidence that it's a fabricated thing. Now, some of the stories may have been influenced by other people that did exist. That's possible. That happens all of the time with legends and whatnot. But there's no evidence that he existed at all, and there's actually plenty of evidence that he was just fabricated by people to basically make Musashi look better and things like that. There's really no evidence that he existed whatsoever. But the story's still a story, and it's still an interesting story, so it doesn't really even matter. But it gets pretty convoluted because you've got like stuff like Robin Hood that goes so far back you don't even know what, you know, inspired the original stuff to begin with, so it gets pretty whack. Well, see ya, Arash. He's not fake in Fate Stay Night though. He's just a different person. Like a lot of people think Kojiro in Fate Stay Night is a fictional character being summoned. That's not what's happening. It's just you know, Kojiro in Fate Stay Night, like the guy we see is just some guy that did exist. He's just not named Kojiro, and he just he's a real person in Fate that happens to have done a lot of the same stuff, and like it's well not done the same stuff, but it has the same skills as the stories, basically. Excuse me, I'm trying to like cough here. There we go. Got like something stuck in my throat. That was really awkward. Ugh. Anyway. Well, this is a pretty giant nothing burger of a stage right here.
Okay. 予言するよ。このサンダラーで眉間に3発。それで終わり。
I mean, Arash was supposed to be tall to begin with. A lot of the original sprites were just the wrong sizes by a lot. I mean, a lot of the new ones aren't correct either a lot of the time, but they're normally more in the ballpark of what they're supposed to be. Almost all of the old sprites were just too small. Alright, let's have Billy do a completely unnecessary amount of crit damage here. Now, you can have him target switch and kill both. I guess we'll do that. It'd be kind of fun to just do the Buster card first, just to get bigger damage, but be somewhat practical here. He might not kill this one. Never mind. One day, Ushi's gonna get that animation update. Hopefully soon. It could be Valentine's Day. It could be if they rate up Ushi, the Avenger one, for Valentine's Day. And like if regular Ushi is in the Valentine's Day story or something, then I could really see it happening. I'd actually bet on it happening if that's the case. Now, maybe they don't rate up Ushi, then Ushi's not in the story, and then we're screwed, but it's been so long and people have wanted it so much that it's crazy that it hasn't happened yet. But I think a long time ago they had already decided, oh hey, Ushi's gonna be in this one event, or this one main story, we'll just do the animation update then. I think they decided that a long time ago, and we're just not getting it until that set time happens. Hey, look, it's Stella. Oh, what? What do I need to level on this account? It's always, Art of Death. I guess this is fine. Jeez, I have more of these than I realized. Come on, super success. Nope. Don't need this thing at all, unfortunately. Some of these I'm actually going to keep infused because they're actually useful to me. I think she'll still be an Avenger because the general there's a lot of servants that they're a certain class because of story or singularity or Lost Belt specific shenanigans, and they still contrive some bullshit reason to make them that in the actual summon as well. Like Limbo is a good example. It's just, oh wow, for some reason you summoned the alien god version for some reason, right? They don't even explain why. You just do, right? And so I suspect they'll do the same for Ushi. But you know, they don't always do that. They've had a few times where they've done tomfoolery. If she's not a Avenger, I would say she's probably going to be a Saber. But my guess would she'll still be an Avenger though. Jolter's kind of different though because the OG version was never intended to be summonable in the first place. And then when they made a summonable version, they didn't even use the same animation set. They used the same model. But they twinked it, but she's got a different animation set. The ruler Jolter's got like a generic Lancer day one animations. And then also her skirt is gray, where the summonable one is pink or something. Like totally different, like the highlight. But that again, exceptions prove the rule. Like overwhelmingly, they will stick to whatever they were in the story. Because basically they made Jolter summonable because they made a whole event like explaining why, right? And it was like a whole thing. They're not gonna need to do that for Ushi because she already had her moment and they were already planning on making her summonable, and her NP is obviously what her NP is going to be, and whatnot. Because yeah, the ruler Jolter actually has a different NP entirely. And it's AoE, funnily enough. Now, she doesn't have the same animations. Their animations are different.
そろそろクエストに戻る？いいよ、その代わり。
Yeah, I very much think she's gonna be an Avenger, but like I said, if it's not Avenger, probably Saber, and if it's not that, then God, I have no idea. It'd be so insulting to make it Rider again. Well, that would be kind of funny. Alright, let's not counter class that can make these spicy. Kind of cheating putting that in the back. Almost wanted, yeah, I'm a coward. I'm bringing Atlas just because I have no anti-debuff, and if there happens to be annoying debuffs here, I want to get rid of it. Not likely though, but you never know. People would be so pissed off if they did not update the 3-star one though. If they made a Rider one, like, oh my god, people would be so mad. What they might do, Icy, is they might... Oh, hi, King Potato Chips. They might do what they did with Gaijuna, where like each Ascension stage gets more and more normal, and like the last one is pretty much just regular her. And that kind of matches the story, because like when she died, you know, when she went back to normal for like 2 seconds. So they might do that. But some people like the, you know, fucked up thing, and they like things being different, and blah 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 blah, and the multi-eye color shenanigans. And that's kind of why she's an Avenger. So I could totally, I would actually kind of expect it to be just fucked up Uchi, but we shall see. I wouldn't mind that as much if they give regular Uchi a really good animation update. None of that lazy nonsense. They give her a really good animation update. So it's like, yeah, there's your good regular Uchi, right? So, and if you like her, you grail her, and so on and so forth, and, you know, good to go. Toilet paper, armor, indeed. The toilet roll. Alrighty. Is she doing the health thing? Because that's actually... Oh, God, I should have brought buff removal. David gets his giant damage, though. Dude, if I had known that was her, I could have brought, like, someone to yeet the buff and laugh at it. That'd be funny. Oh, this will make it interesting, though. We're gonna need damage pretty quick, then. Too soon for the heal, but if he lands the defense buff, it's fine. I mean, I don't see why fighting Vinny is lame. I mean, it's kind of who you'd expect to fight it. And if you don't like Benny, it's kind of fun to murder her anyway, right? So I don't see the problem here. Pretty sure she has divinity. She's a hodgepodge of random goddess essences. Let's go damage. I don't think it was that bland, because the whole point of it was you had to exert a lot of value to make sure you beat the monkeys, and then you need enough value left over to deal with a Saber with a fuckload of health, right? So that's fine. That was actually kind of fun, especially because we haven't. That's really unique. We're having like a two-phase thing like that, where it's like, okay, it's not actually that hard to deal with the monkeys, but it's hard to deal with the monkeys in a way where you still have enough value left over. That's kind of a unique way of doing things. So I kind of like this. So quite a, you know, it's not the best challenge quest they've ever made by any means, but it's certainly fun, and it rewards some unique utility like buff block and all that, and that's always nice to see. Boy, do I not care for the cards that we got here. I probably should have just done the art up there, but it wouldn't have resulted in 40k damage, and we'll probably break on the next turn if we get decent cards anyway. Kinda awkward right now. So I actually should not have done his NP seal. I should have let him NP right away so we could get David's evade out, and then NP seal the next one. That would have been the smart thing. Please don't kill David this turn. That would be kind of the worst. We have such a good turn next turn if David doesn't die here. This would be so boring with damage CEs, by the way. Unless you're like a day one account, then obviously you're gonna need them. He just gets a defense up with all that health. I wish they had drawn that rock. That looks. Oh my god, my crit stars though. Yeah, it would not have been hard to draw a rock, and that looks really bad as CGI. Man! I was gonna crit, it was gonna be great. No fun allowed though. Buster Chain with a terrible crit chance or an 8. No, okay, well, it's more stylish. If we had Mozart, that would be guaranteed to crit. Oh yeah, Fujino can like solo Vinny. If you just clean up the monkeys and then have Fujino in the back, you're gonna win. As long as you know how to play her. No problem. Wow, that defense up ain't half bad. Probably like 25% or something. Yeah, no, that rock looks terrible, and it would be so easy to draw a rock, right? You don't even have to draw it more than once, so I think that 1,000,000% should not have been a 3D render. Bonk. Luckily, we had David's heart. I almost want to not cast protection from arrows because you could use it for the next NP, but I think we can win before the next NP, so we'll just go for that. Seriously, that looks really dreadful. I like how she's using it so much, making us look at the horror. We're struggling a little bit here though, because of that defense up and healing every turn. Not that much healing though from the boss side, because you know our damage output is so much greater than like theirs is. Ow. Well, David's trying. Hey, look, he got his charisma off before dying. That's pretty good. How long does her defense buff last? 2 more turns. It's probably like 5 or 6 turns, I would think. Hey, Koro, thank you for this 6-month sub. Already half a year, goddamn. Now I'm hungry. Oh, she's dead now. That crit buff. Well. She doesn't have any servants in her core. That's not how it works. It's like they have like an essence of different goddesses. But it's not like the actual goddesses are in there or anything like that. It's like data that's like copying part of their essence. So massively watered down. You know, I think we're near the end, actually. I think we're pretty far in. There's not enough missions left anyway. Story support with CEs, though. How about that? Alright, we'll use Calamity Jane. Why not? I haven't really used her this event. And the only reason I haven't been using her is because she is an event servant, and a lot of the content hasn't really been hard enough to warrant that kind of thing. Let me at least give her Star Bomb command codes. That's like really bare minimum. Doesn't take that much work to do that. Alright, chat, quick. If you could pick one servant to get an animation update, who would you pick? And it doesn't have to be who you think deserves it. It can be if you want, like just whatever criteria you want. You get one character to get an animation update. Who are you going with? Okita, that's fair. That's fair. God, she's been treated so badly. Get 2 animation updates and they're both like half-assed garbage, dude. Leonidas, Ozzy, lots of Ushi there. Loads of Ushi. Got some Jolter, Billy, Shakespeare, that's a good pick. Nobu, a lot of Ushi, my god. Some Medusa, more Motohari, Taiga. Taiga doesn't need it that bad, but I guess some people want it. That's a lot of Ushi, though. Quite a bit of diversity there. I will say Jolter definitely deserves it quite a bit. A lot of people deserve it at this point, though, I suppose. Caligula, he should have gotten one in Lost Vault 5, dude. He played a pretty big role. They gave him those fancy voice lines, and they're like, no animation update, though. Such a waste, dude. Any day one servant. I mean, Kiyo's animations are quite good. They're not anything like the old ones. Like, not at all. I said old ones there like I was talking about, like, Eldrith, you know, god, outer god bullshit, you Lovecraftian nonsense. The old ones, but, you know, day one servants and not even just day one servants, like, even, like, Oceanus and stuff, you know, all those are fucking terrible. Even London was pretty... meh. Yeah, Darius, I can get behind that one. I just grailed him, and I can't decide if I want to grail him to 90 or 100. I might go 100 though, and I might even 2k foe him. It's something I've thought about doing many times. He's really cool, and he was one of those 3 stars that really got me into the game, so we shall see. If he gets a really good animation update, I probably would grail Darius to 100. And like I said, I don't have a good AoE Berserker anyway, so it's a practical thing to do as well. Oh, hi, Zigguard. I think you're gonna get shot in the face by Calamity Jane here. No point in shooting Zigguard because he's gonna die to the NP. And Calamity Jane can do a battery skill anyway. See, the background's all spooky, so you know you get into the serious part of the story. I should have used her 3rd skill just to get the buff success chance, because I don't need it for anything else anyway. Probably should have given Ku the MP battery, actually. I'm gonna give Ku the Star Absorb so he can get an arc crit here. Dude, I love Ryder Darius' design. I want that so bad. I hope he's just a 3-star again because it's easy to get them. But they'd probably make him a 4-star. Well, it kind of depends on when he's added. If they added him like randomly in 3.0, he'd probably be a low star. But if they added him for an event or a major main story, then he'd probably be a 4-star. But yeah, if they ever do like 3.0, well actually we know they're doing 3.0. when they do 3.0, if they decide to add a bunch of like bronze and silver to it, which they should, I don't know if they will, but that would be awesome and make a lot of sense. If he was added for something like that, then he probably would be a low star, and I would be totally okay with this. Oh, there's a whole bunch of backup enemies. His designs from the F2P movie. Oh look, more Ziggurat. Really was not expecting that, but it's like a thing here. There's lots of Ziggurats, because you're on that one planet and there was like, you know, 8 of them or something. Alright, well, get more NP gain then. Although honestly, if we just shot him in the face right there, she probably would have killed him. With the crit buff, double attack buff, counter class, the event bonus. I probably would have done the trick. Well, our buffs are gone now. Come on, hit Jane, there you go. Give me that NP. Can she win here? Probably. She's pretty fucking strong in this event. She's probably good for the challenge quest, I would think. Look at him guarding! And she applies the defense down before damage, if I remember correctly, so them guarding it really sucks for her. Not that it matters here, but Jesus. I just want Saint Hercules. At this point, I don't even care what class it is. Just give me Saint Hercules. And they've been so close to doing it so many times, and they just don't. It's like, why you gotta be like that? Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap up there, because I'm really fatigued right now. Like, got some brain drain going on, and we're having internet problems now and everything else, so I think I'm gonna stop there. It's okay, you know, it's good to have some ammo left for the next stream. We got some more wanted quests to do. Hopefully by the next stream we'll have enough CEs to do the other big wanted quests. But that was a good time. I'm gonna try to relax a bit. I'm pretty pooped today. But good times, good times. Let's see, and this is, I'm pretty sure this is pretty much the end. I think we got like one more hoorah in here, and that's about it. And honestly, farming wise, we're looking pretty good. Just doing the 5 each node has gotten us pretty far along. I guess I'll buy this. Well, I may have gotten enough, let me check. I may have gotten enough as a drop that I don't need it. Because you don't need more than the limit break, really. Yeah, I need at least one. I'll wait for now. I guess with the challenge quest, though, it's not bad to have an extra one. But the one you want is the team one, really. That's the one that makes the challenge quest a lot easier. Anyway, peace out, everybody. I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out. I guess, I'm trying to think. I wonder if we're going to have a dead week after this event ends. I'm trying to think what date it ends on. Because it ends pretty close to Valentine's Day, so I don't really know what's going to happen over there. But at some point, we're going to try to get back to, you know, Lost Belt 5 and do the CCC thing on this account and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's raid somebody real quick. Because I'm pretty pooped today, so I don't think we're going to do another bonus stream. Which sucks because I want to, but gotta not be an idiot here. Right, who is playing F2P today? Oh, someone's doing the challenge quest right now. Not an English-speaking stream though. God damn it. Shit. Okay, this guy's doing Lost Belt 3. That's something. Why not? Rating somebody at total random here. Alright, boys. I will see you all later. I'm gonna go crash. Peace.